Welcome aboard tonight's Australian Formula 3 E-Series round number 10, the final round of season 11 for F3A, powered by FRG. And a big thanks to RaceKraft, VRS, lovely stickers, and SCHOTS, our brand new sponsor for the series. So welcome aboard tonight. I am joined once again in the commentary box by Dave Roberts. He's going to be joining me throughout this final round of kick off with silver. Later on we go straight to gold and we will crown a champion tonight. So it's been the American Tour. We've had a host of different circuits, including Rovals, some classic American circuits, and now we finished tonight at Watkins Glen, which is one of my favourite fast-flowing circuits. Dave, what do you think of the circuit? I think it's probably the most epic place we can come to finish with, and it does, adjust itself to some pretty nifty racing around here.
Yeah, it's probably America's most classic Grand Prix track, home of the US Grand Prix from years ago. Beautiful circuit, lots of trees. What a nice place to finish the season.
Configuration we're running tonight, I'm just having a quick look there. It looks like we're doing the boot but without the chicane, is that right? It looks
correct. Classic boot. Yep. You don't get that chicane just before the
shoot,
the rise at the end of or the drop at the end of the back straight. So it's a much we don't have to worry about getting killed, let's face it. So yeah, we don't need a chicane to slow us down, and it makes it more the classic, much better flow in the circuit before they had to do things such as chicanes in places. So we tend to go for the old school circuit. Same thing as Barcelona. Don't use that silly last chicane that they've had to put in. Yeah. Because we can hit a reset button.
That's right. And Jordanson, who's on a very quick lap currently outside of the times, may go to the pole with this lap. He's looking pretty decent sector times, but we're seeing a 1:36 at the moment. Hardy on top, Damien Cairns P2, and Marcus Kinitsky a top 3 as we approach 2 minutes to go in qualifying. So once again, Cairns right up there, Kinitsky as well, Rewalt on the fringe of the top 3 as Jordanson goes 22nd in the end.
And hiding back there in 17th is Dylan O'Shea, who won last week's gold race.
He's just gone purple, sector 4 as well, so is he putting in a lap here right at the end?
Don't know.
Let's have a look as he comes onto the straight now. Fires it down towards the flag, and 17th, 1.1 seconds off the pace. He has too. And look at that, he doesn't set a fast time. In fact, he drops in behind another competitor, and that will actually ruin his next lap as well.
Yeah, I don't think Dylan's trying to set a time. I think he's going out for a run off the back of the grid.
Okay, good shot as they head up the hill. We'll see. Well, some 2x2 action through here always becomes pretty exciting. I've hosted many a race here, sports sedans, Formula 5000. Some of the best memories I've had in sim racing have been at this place because of that run up the hill. And the excitement tonight for me without that chicane means you're basically at full throttle. These things, you don't need a lot of braking force before you send them through this double right-hander down the chute.
No, they got lots of grip, lots of mid-corner speeds, and they're very, very quick around here through these 180-degree turns, and that big sweeper off the end of the back straight is it's top gear over the top, and I think they just pop it back to 5th and go straight through that corner. So running some really, really big speed. Also, that last corner onto the straight, that's a top gear corner. They don't even change down for it.
It's mega. It's going to be such a good configuration for these cars, and like I said, good way to finish out the round. Tonight we will be drawing the winner of the VRS competition too, so if you haven't got your name in that, I think you're too late.
Spinny thing?
My spinny thing, yeah. I just quickly made sure the spinny thing was working, so we're all set for that, and that will happen later on tonight. But big thanks to VRS, of course. If you need to get better, well, they're the best place to go to for setups and all that kind of stuff, and they will be giving away a special prize tonight as well. I don't know if it's called a booby prize, but it's a special prize, I'm calling it, for someone who may not have worked hard for it, but deserves it.
Big save in the background there, as you were talking.
Yeah. So they get to finish the lap they're on. So Arthur's just ruined his lap. He's back in the pits. He's gone P5. Rewalt, 4th, has done a green sector 2, but a couple of yellows in there. We're not seeing anyone light up purples. So we probably should talk about the temps here, Dave, and how that affects the car. 27 degrees track temp, 24 degrees ambient, cloudy at about, 2:30? No, sorry. Yeah, 2:30 p.m. Local time here at Watkins Glen.
That should make for some pretty quick times because it's not very warm. 24 degrees. Well, I live in Brisbane, so it's not very warm at all. 24 Celsius. So I would think that that's not too bad. That's pretty. And what Roo does when he sets up these servers is he actually checks the forecast temperature of the location of the circuit for the day we're racing. So it's not exactly accurate, but at least it's reflective of the local temperatures. So that's pretty cool.
That's pretty incredible, yeah. So as we head into the grid for this race, it's pretty close at the top 10, covered by 0.6 of a second, so it's super close up there. Let's get set to head down to the grid. So the final round, round number 10 of this season 11 of the F3A American Tour. It's been fantastic to go to different circuits, test the skills of the drivers in all different locations and put them out of their comfort zone as well. Some of those Rovals in particular, brand new to some of the drivers. The infield sections were tricky enough, but it all comes down to this, so the winner of the silver. And of course we go at 9 o'clock to our gold server where we have the best of the best. We've actually got a live point system tonight, which we'll update live as the race, the Grand Prix goes on, which will be fantastic over that 50-minute race. But we kick off tonight with a 35-minute race. Will we see safety cars? We'll definitely need a fuel stop sometime during this race, so we'll stand by for that. As qualifying finally, just waiting for iRacing to finally click this over. I'm paddling along here as away. Kim Walls is still out on the track, which is just holding up proceedings a little bit. As soon as Kim comes back into the pits or is ejected out, we'll see our chance to go and call that grid out and get underway. But a big thanks to all the viewers. There we go, Kim's just been given the boot here at the boot, and we'll head down now for tonight's grid for silver. This is how they will line up. Hardy off the front row, Cairns starts alongside him. Then on the second row, Kanitska will start with Rewalt, Arthur and McLaughlin off the third row with Cassidy, Gardner, Madden and Taylor, your top 10. McVeigh starts from 11th with Elder alongside. As we go to the next row of the grid, it's Nins and Capone, Walls and Johansson down there with O'Shea and Calvert in your top 18, Jordanson and Little, your top 20. Mabry 21st on the grid with Lucas Bird, Brant Johnson down in 23rd, and Daniel Sheriff's keeping things in line down in 24th on the grid. Capel in the safety car as always with Clements, Johnny Lee and Isaac Edwards down the back of the grid. We get set to go racing, but we're going to wait for them to grid up here as we do. They're getting a bit of a call out from Roo, just reading the, I guess, the rules, regulations, and what they should probably do, thinking of turn 1 and the run up the hill. Dave, what will he be saying? In fact, we could probably listen in. Let's have a quick listen now.
RaceKraft, lovely stickers, VRS sub or something from SCHOTS. Could you please report that to me so we can get that info back to the sponsors and hopefully have them back?
He's just doing a sponsor talk at the moment, so we'll let him do that. It's fantastic that, you know, everyone, we've got the sponsors for the series, but obviously if you look at these cars closely, they've got their personal sponsors on the cars. Some of them are running generic liveries as well that you designed, Dave, isn't it? All those beautiful F3A liveries we see on the grid there.
I think Roo did most of those. That's,
did he?
That's Roo's handiwork. I just, the safety car was mine.
Love the safety car.
Yeah, what Roo did was we've created a full set of like F3A liveries. So if somebody wants to come and race, they don't have to go, I have to go and do a paint job of my own. They can just go onto Trading Paints and select something, and it looks really good, really professional, and gets them into the game.
That's so cool. Yeah, there's a shot of the grid. We're waiting on about 6 or 7 drivers to grid up. Now, are there any rules tonight on running wide at turn 1? Because there is probably the biggest runoff area in the history of motorsport down there.
Well, I think turn 1 now, since the rebuild, actually gives you a you get a point for going wide. So they've got to be careful of that.
Yeah, because it never used to, did it? It was always open slather out there. We're just waiting for the last couple of drivers to grid up. Damien Cairns is one of them. He's given us access again tonight. And a big thanks to all the drivers across this series that have given us their webcam access. There's Damien having his last thoughts before he grids up. Obviously waiting to the last minute. I think we spoke last week, David, about this. Maybe it's good for the tyres area. Get the shuckers. That's good.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that if you get on there really early, the whatever temperature the tyre comes with, it's only going to get colder. So,
yeah,
possibility.
I like that. It's a little thing that maybe some people haven't thought about.
Especially since the circuit temperature is pretty cold.
True. So it is just Cairns. We're waiting on him to grid up. Once he's on the grid at the 3-minute mark. And yes, and Isaac Edwards right at the back. But there we go. We are set for a start here for our final round of the silver. 35 minutes on the clock. We wait for a green light. And Cairns hasn't made the grid. I'm not sure what's happened there. We get a green, we get underway, and he's at Cairns in the pit lane, which is absolutely horrendous for his championship. So Kaniska leads us around the outside turn 1, and Hardy fights back on the inside, but as they head up the hill for the first time, Cairns has missed the start of this race. Can you believe it?
Well, I actually think he's carrying a penalty from last week's race and had a pit lane start as a penalty.
There we go. That could be the reason. That's heart aching. Close at the front. So Rewalt, Hardy, Kaniska and Arthur, nothing between them. It's James Rewalt that leads this as they head for the first time through the right hand down the hill. On the outside, I think it's Ben Arthur trying to hang it out there, and he has hung it out well. On the inside, you had Kaniska now fighting back. Jordanson's on the radio. There is a crash down the back of the field, and it may be Jordanson in all sorts. This could be our first safety car. So big crash. John Lee, I think, involved in that too, and Calvert too. There's 3 or 4 cars, unfortunately, involved in that one.
Brad Johnson is limping back to the pit. Safety car is out.
Safety car's out. So first safety car of the night, lap 1. Get a chance to go back and have a look at this incident at the start of the race. Let's see if we can work out where it all went wrong. So down the back of the field, there's John Lee, who it's telling me on iRacing he was involved in this. So he was trying to avoid the crash in front, and he sort of got sucked in a bit of
cold tyres.
Cold tyres, and also what do they call it? I always forget the term for this in motorbikes, when you focus on the crash and you end up in the wall with them.
Yeah, it's like when you used to be learning to ride your push bike and you look at that tree and go, don't hit the tree. That's the moment you did, you ran straight in the tree, didn't you?
Yeah, it's got a term, and I always forget every time I bring it up, and then I remember it later, but it's focusing on an incident and you get sucked straight in.
So who that car is 026. Let me have a look, see if I can find who that is.
So let's have a look at Brand Johnson. 026 is Calvert, so he was the other one.
Yeah, so I think he's clipped. He's on the inside. There's a guy on the inside, and then car 24's chopped right across.
Yeah, so Jordanson turned in, and that's hit the...
not given any racing room.
That's hit Calvert, and they've both all ended up together down there. So, unfortunately, that's an early exit for those drivers. They may sneak back into it, but pretty devastating to go out lap 1 like that.
I'm going to guess that we might see a little penalty for Jordison there, because he did chop in, not give racing room on the inside.
Speaking of beautiful safety car, there's your beautiful safety car out on the track.
Yeah, it's very nice, isn't it? Wouldn't mind one of those little Aston Martin, would you?
Yeah, very nice. The sun pokes out as well, so this is something that I love with iRacing, this dynamic sky. Yep. So you see the sun come out, the track temp may go up a little bit. It's 27. But yeah, just for me, it's such a good realistic thing that they added a couple of years ago now, probably 3 or 4 years ago, dynamic sky. Love seeing it on the broadcast with the sun definitely poking out there for a moment.
Yeah, I love doing the endurance events with them when the sun goes down and you go into the night and you come up in the dawn, and it's fabulous. It really is. Now we've got safety car coming in at the end of this lap, so they'll be back to racing. Yeah,
very quick. So the other driver that's given us access tonight is Brant. And Brant's down at the moment 23rd place for Sandgroper Racing, just having a quick sip of his cup of tea. We'll say cup of tea. It was a can of something very delicious looking. He puts it away as I bring him up on the stream, but there he is. Focused as always, getting ready to get there. A thumbs up, good to see. And the other thumbs down as well. So, yeah, he's not happy with that start, obviously, in the wall opening lap. But he's back out on the racetrack at the back of the field, and that's what we want to see. They don't give up, Dave. That's the good thing, isn't it, this series?
No, and the thing is, because of the safety car and the wave by, even if you go down a lap, it's not the end of the world. You've still got a good chance to come back through. And we saw in gold last week, Bowden driving off 27th or something and driving to second place. So, mate, there's the opportunities to go right through the field.
That's it. Now we've got some quick shout-outs before we go back to green here. Fart, which is Jason Fewens on YouTube, says these cars look really well suited to this track. 100% Just Me as well. Good to see Just Me there. Will Ryan, g'day. Riso Gorman says Shaka Changi, which is our beautiful chips, getting ready to go. And hello to everyone there. And also Christine Cairns and Chris McCabe over on Facebook. G'day everyone. Thanks for tuning in, supporting this series, and everyone that has over the last 10 rounds. We get a break over Christmas, and I think some big things coming for this series, which I can't speak about yet, but I tell you what, the amount of time Rude, Dave, who was with me tonight, and also the other admin put into this series makes it so incredible. Let's go back to green flag racing, though. Good restart. James got away well there, didn't he? Jump the field. He left him for dead.
And I see Dylan O'Shea's up to 9th place already, starting off 17th originally there. Luke.
Yeah, you're right. He did start from the back. He set himself a challenge, and challenge accepted. How good's that for him? So he probably just wanted something a bit fun tonight, and not really in the championship as far as I know. He's decided just to go out there and have a bit of a toy around.
And now you'll see that there's a really good toe here where you come up over the hill through this curve, and if you can get in the slipstream, we've got another safety car. You can get three or four abreast down there, all towing. So we've got another safety car.
Now that's got to be that's before the start of the lap, isn't it?
Yes, it is. That's before the start and finish.
Yeah, so he's gone in the fence on the restart. Ben, let's have a look. Bent. He's bent the car.
I was going to say, we've got another bad pun there, haven't we? Bent.
We have. So this will give us a good view. Now, did he get some help here? So here's the restart.
I'm guessing he did. Yep.
Oh.
Looks like it. Oh, what?
That was interesting.
What's happened there is...
Corner 10, caution after corner 10.
What's happened there is that Rue calls green, green, green when the leader goes. So that doesn't mean that the cars at the back have to wait until the start-finish line to go. Once they hear that green, 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 they
there was
can
the contact.
Go.
Did you see that?
He's gone, and he's just clipped the rear wheel and broken the rear suspension on that car.
So the number 11, is it? I think it's just clipped the back of the 65. And unfortunately, look at that.
Car 11 is Jacob Mabry.
Yeah, so let's maybe jump on board with him. We'll roll that back again. And once again, maybe probably a penalty coming once race control look at that.
And a nice bit of avoidance there by Dave Clements in 06, because that was all happening in front of him and he's managed to avoid it.
Here it is in real time. Let's have a watch. We'll jump to a different camera. Let's watch this one for the restart real time.
Oh, I'm not sure. Now we're in real time.
There you go.
Yeah,
slightest of bumps, wasn't it? But did a lot of damage.
He's going to get I would say he's going to get some sort of penalty for that. We'll wait and see. Let race control run that. But I think you'll see more news on that yet.
Yeah, so second caution. We're on lap 4 of this race. So it's eating up the time. Now, what does this do to the fuel strategy? Because we've seen this in a couple of rounds this season where, these early safety cars and multiple safety cars means that the odd driver might try and do this without a fuel stop.
Well, it's a 35-minute race, and they've got about 25 minutes worth of fuel on board, so it really needs 3 safety cars and some fuel saving to consider that you can make the finish. The other thing is that we're getting very short safety car periods here. They're really only 1 lap.
Which is good, yeah, I like that. So they're clearing the incident fast. And people are getting back on that lap as well after going to the pits.
I think that we're going to have to, or we're going to need another safety car, or possibly 2, to be able to see this race through without a pit stop. But the other thing is, if you do a pit stop early and it doesn't happen, you've got to jump over everybody else because you've got track position by taking an early pit stop. So you're always playing that early pit stop versus, is there going to be enough safety cars that I maybe don't have to make one? And it's a bit of a gamble, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a shot of Damien Cairns back in 18th place after that pit lane start. So he's got a lot of work to do tonight, but he'll be up to the challenge as well. We've still got just
he's
on...
there.
Yeah, he's always jacking. There's still 25 minutes in the race, so plenty of time to go. And he's had a good season, like I said. I first saw Damien with the V8 Veterans. Very different car to race to the V8 Supercar here, and he's handled the transition well.
He's looking very comfortable behind the wheel of this now, and I think this season certainly brought him along. And if he comes back next season, I'd be hoping to see Damien in the gold split most weeks.
He has been on the fringe now. From memory, I think he made it 1 week for gold, or a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think that he's really starting to come to grips with the car. So a little bit more time and effort into pre-qualifying, and I think he's a gold driver.
Yeah, we got 3 pace syndicate drivers in the top 5 once again tonight with Rewalt, Kaniska, and Jason Madden, who's just back there as well. I wonder if Rewalt's just given them a little bit of a heads up about this restart procedure, because Rewalt caught them all napping last time around. Let's see if he does it again this time.
the paint, all the liveries are looking fantastic there when you do those close-ups too, Luke. And it really is amazing how far this as a sport has come over the last few years, especially since COVID, isn't it?
100%. Yeah, good restart there. And you're right, they're a spectacle. They put a lot of effort in, and they do have real-world sponsors, some of these drivers, and they've got to reflect that on their cars. It's a must when you've got a real-world sponsor to then thank them. And that's why we're seeing these paints just develop. And we got a spinner down to turn one. That was he caught that.
Saved it.
Ben Arthur, what a catch! And that's not easy to do in one of these cars.
And look who's slipping up his inside.
O'Shea, there he is. So he sneaks up the hill. O'Shea moves himself up into 6th already, so 11 positions. He might get under attack here, though, from Lockie Taylor, who's got a great run on him. Here comes Lockie now, and he'll go to, they're going to go 3 wide here, Dave. This is where I hold my breath.
Penalty added to your time for causing an incident on lap 1.
2 by 2.
There we go. That's the Jordanson from lap 1, the one who cut in from the outside. He's got a 5-second penalty.
Oh, wow.
Interlocking wheels. That's a bit dangerous.
That was Taylor around the outside, so that big run that he had on the back straight did help him get alongside and pass. He's gone round the outside, then held it for the inside run, but this will put O'Shea back to the inside. One of the characteristics I love about this racetrack is the fact that it continues to switch from left to right, and when you just think you've got a move done, the other driver comes back at you.
There, you'd see Dylan diving to the inside because he wants to control the next corner. He wants to be on the inside of that corner. The racing is awesome. We've got another car not far off the race line. I think we might not have a safety car on this one.
Nathan Gardner it is who was requesting a tow. Race controller standing by for that one. At the front, Rewalt still leading Hardy here across the line to start lap 6 now, and Kanitska just staying in touch. They've dropped the rest of the field, and then there's a gap back to Jason Madden, who's under attack from Dylan O'Shea. But that field spread already 3 and a bit seconds as we do get a permission to tow, no safety car required.
Beautiful. I'm getting over the safety car.
Yeah.
I don't like to see it have the most laps led.
That's right. Look at that. Kanitska goes through, then McLaughlin, Madden, O'Shea, Arthur, Taylor. Cassidas is there with Clements, Capone, Walls, Mabry as they all fly through side by side. Look at this. They almost push 3 wide again down the hill. Rewalt under pressure, probably for the first time in this race, under immense pressure from Hardy, and Kanitska just being watchful as the teammate to your race leader. As that would balked him, didn't it?
The racing we've seen so far, they've all been very, very good with giving each other racing room.
He goes Kanitska around the outside. Surely he's not going to make that stick. He does. They get alongside. They go wheel to wheel down this short straight towards the toe, isn't it, of the boot? As we go into the toe now from memory. And
that's a heel, I think.
That's the heel. We need the track map up. As we head around, that was to me. Oh, there's a crash in the background there. We've got a couple of cars. It's Hardy who's just gone off the track, and they've tangled up there. A couple of the lead cars. Hardy's
he's trying to get across the right-hand side of the road because he needs to get to pit lane.
Yeah, there
we go. Because he's got carrying damage, so he'll go in here. He'll have a fast repair. So he'll do a fast repair. If I was him, I'd probably take some fuel as well. And he's a long way from out of the race.
So it was Hardy and McLaughlin. McLaughlin had got through, I think. That's Kanitska in front, isn't it? Yeah, so Hardy actually dropped it himself, and then he got collected by McLaughlin as McLaughlin came through. That's what that little chaos was that I saw.
Lap 7.
There was some pretty spectacular avoidance there, and really nice driving for a number of them.
Yeah, we've got another car complaining about a crash here. I'm trying to see if that's... No one's dropping down the order, so it's very close. Look at this. We've got, from Ben Arthur down, they are absolutely tangled together now. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 10 cars within about a second here.
Let's hope they all stay on their own piece of road and enjoy their racing.
This looks like Formula Ford.
Doing. It sure does.
Someone who's had a lot of experience is yours truly in the commentary, or I should say my commentary box partner here, David. And yeah, look at that. This is classic.
It's nice to see the respect from driver to driver.
Oh, just as you say.
I did it, didn't I? I had to do it.
Usually it's me, but that's cans in the wall as well.
No.
Check that out. We need a tow as well, please.
So he's just said he needs a tow. He's out of this race, so
Could be a safety car.
could be. I'm so glad it wasn't me that put the mockers on this time. We'll go have a look at a replay, Dave, because just as you said, they were doing really well. Just watch this. I think cans might be on the back end of something here. So it was
it's car, whatever that car is there, 11 that's lost it in front of everybody. So that was
Maybury.
Jacob Maybury who's lost it there, and now he's limping back to the pits.
So have a look at Maybury here. This was him heading down to the braking zone. Just drops the back end, I think.
Copy 18.
There it goes. Pendulum's around and then collected by 1-2 cars as, gee, that squeezed cans into the fence. Big crash.
That's the problem when you're running that close. Somebody has an incident, and it involves everybody.
Okay, we'll go back to live here as there's a couple of cars, very sad in the pits, but out in front, 7/10 of a second the gap, and 16 minutes in, so we approach half distance here, and fuel stops on the minds, obviously these drivers, but pace syndicate 1, 2, and driven away from the field here.
Well, I'm looking at 1, 2, and 3 and thinking, gee, they're all really gold drivers. Those guys are quite often in gold, so I'm not surprised to see them at the front here, but they may have struggled with a bit of pace in pre-qualifying, because I'm not sure everybody's aware, but there's a pre-qualifying sessions on Sunday and Monday nights, because we've got, at times up to 100 odd people trying to qualify for these races. So they run a thing called pre-qualifying, which is an open server. Everyone goes in there, sets a time, and the fastest 40 cars go into gold, and the what's left, the second fastest 40 go into silver.
Yep.
So that's how we end up with these grids, and sometimes people haven't got quite the time, or it's really, really close. Like sometimes the whole 40 cars in gold are less than a second apart. So it's very easy to go, oh, suddenly I'm in silver.
And it is so competitive, isn't it? And you've got drivers, like you said, that can spend half a week on here practicing. Others are just naturally talented, just jump in, 10 minutes before, set a lap, still get themselves right up the top. And it's always amazing to see those just naturally gifted people at doing this, whether or not, and sometimes it's not because they're a good race car driver, they've just got that knack of hand-eye coordination.
Absolutely, and the good thing here is it's a fixed setup, so you're not spending all week fiddling with setups and trying to find it and thinking somebody's faster. Everybody's running exactly the same setup, exactly the same wing angle, exactly the same camber and roll bars and springs and everything on the car, so they're all identical.
Oh, contact. That was a little nudge there. Oh, and a secondary spin from, I think, Lucas. Was it Kevin Little? Went around, and Lucas Burt was the other car that went around. Oh, and then a nasty rejoin, and that's taken another car out too.
That was awful to watch. I'm glad they've got a reset button, because in real world that would have been really nasty.
Yeah. Oh, and another one.
Again.
Oh, race control's going to be not happy with that. That was Jordanson. He's now destroyed as well.
And that's a safety car, I'll guarantee you.
So terrible rejoins. We saw, 2 or 3 rejoins there. Oh, gosh.
That is really unusual for F3A. The one thing they pride themselves on is really good rejoins. There's not a lot of room here, but they should be using their relative, which they've got an onboard timing system that tells them there's a car approaching half a second or a second away. So they know when, even if they can't see them, if they're using their relative, they know where they are, and they shouldn't be moving until they know that track is clear. So the race control are going to come down like a ton of bricks.
Yeah. So we just had a look at it there, and if we go back a little bit further, Kevin Little, let's have a look at this quickly. Now, did he just lose it, or did he get involved with someone else here? No, so it was the Pagnian car that went around first. He sort of, once again, got fixated on that other crash. And then there is...
This is the one.
That's horrible. Horrible, so...
And then we have another one where the white car there pulls back out on the road as well.
Yeah, there it is, yeah.
Bang, another one.
before going past the
And target fixation is what I finally remembered the term for that.
Target
Yeah,
fixation.
target fixation, which they always talk about in motorbikes, but you concentrate on the accident and all of a sudden you take your mind off what you should be doing and you end up in an accident too. So we've seen that a little bit tonight already.
I always call it see me, hit me. But you're going to see some drive-throughs from that. They're going to cop a big penalty. Those boys have just ruined other people's races, but as a result of that, they'll be pretty much out of the race.
Go, Stephen.
Yeah, so under caution here, we'll go back to live. We'll pick up where we're at with the safety car. I'm noticing a lot of cars into the pits as well. So here we go. It's going to be fuel phase now at 20 minutes in. Clements has stayed out and he's gone 25 places to the lead now. So you reckon he's rolling the dice here, maybe trying to sneak through?
If he's very, very careful with it, he could get to the finish. That's our third safety car. They're very short safety cars, but it's quite a long track, so it's sort of a balance. So it'd be interesting if I go on board with him, which I might do because I can do that on my other monitor, and I'll just see if he's clutching and trying to save fuel.
He definitely is, because we could hear as he came up to up the hill, the clutch was in. You heard the engine revs die straight away, so he's already saving fuel. And you can probably roll from here for the next half a K of this racetrack because it's all downhill.
Yeah, we got that. You can turn now.
Yeah, clutch in, you can just hear that.
Yeah, he's got his clutch in and he's rolling. So he's trying to save fuel, and that's what he's trying to do. He's banking on another safety car yet, which should get him, if it does, it'll get him to the finish. And yeah, mate, he could be looking really good here.
Yeah, I love a gamble when someone takes a gamble in a race like this, because sometimes it does pay off. We've seen it, I think, once this season where it did pay off.
Lap 11's got rear-ended while just driving along.
It's very cool to see somebody roll the dice, isn't it?
Did you hear that? That was Taylor, who's been rear-ended under safety car here, which and that's done plenty of rear suspension damage. You can see the rear wheel flapping around there.
Seems everybody loves a hit with a Tim Tam, doesn't they?
A Vegemite Tim Tam?
Yeah, no, the Vegemite you can keep. Sorry.
Yeah, look at that. That's horrendous.
Thing, isn't it?
Imagine driving that thing.
Yeah, it's a shocker.
But yeah, he's got both the Vegemite and the Tim Tam sponsorship on there. Maybe it's something they should try sometime. I know I like a bit of Vegemite and cheese on a sandwich. That's not a bad combo.
Oh, I can't do Vegemite at all. Sorry, Luke.
Yeah. What about a spoonful of Vegemite in your cup of tea and then suck a Tim Tam through it?
No negative hold.
Horrendous.
Hold position.
Absolutely horrendous. But,
so now we're not. No, we're not. Are we, or are we not coming in this lap?
No, he did say one more lap was the call I heard from race control.
Well, that's in Dave Clement's favour again. More laps they do on the safety car, the better off he's going to be.
It is. I'm going to quickly send you across so viewers can have a quick look at the race control room, which is a busy little place to be. And we'll show you Rick Oyster's screen because he's the man you hear in the background watching everything. That's the view of his...
He's watching first.
Yeah. He's got about 4 different views up there. He's got a track map, all the statistics. You quite often see them looking backwards and forwards at incidents throughout the race. So there's, I'll put on the big screen, there's a very busy race control screen. So there you can see transmitting on Race Control channel, and that's the channel that we hear as he talks to all the drivers out there. So it's such a well-oiled organisation. You've got to give some credit to iRacing for just giving this sort of technology these days. It's come a long way, even in the last 4 or 5 years. It's so good now.
Yeah, and I think it's really interesting the way the manual safety car, because that's not something iRacing designed, but it's sort of clever use of the system to work it so that we've got complete control over the race.
Yep.
And I think that really changed things a little bit as well. It gives a whole nother element of authenticity to it.
Yeah, 100%.
Now we're seeing the lap cars being waved by.
Yeah, and this can sometimes be a little bit sketchy as well. But yeah, you're right. With that manual safety car, it makes it so realistic. You're not held out for 3-4 laps like you used to be with the iRacing safety car. You can do these short restarts, or you can also push on for an extra lap if you need to, if there's extra things that need sorting out. Lockie Taylor's just pulling out of the race. You could hear that little conversation. Gardner, I think, is about to do the same. So they're going to have an early shower, those guys.
Yeah, man, enjoy your night.
Yeah, so if they pull out of the race, if they sit in pit lane and they've done enough laps, they'll be qualified as a finisher and get points. If not, if they remove themselves from the race, they go right to the back as a DNF, no points.
Yep. Safety car accelerating away from the field now. We'll get back to a restart. 10 minutes to go, so that's eaten a fair bit of time, hasn't it? And importantly, Clements, the only driver on the track, has not stopped for fuel. That may help him. That extra lap may have been the saving grace for him tonight.
We'll see. There might be another, because safety cars breed safety cars, as they say, so we might have another one yet.
They do now. I've got to tell you this. I'm going to tell you on air, Dave. You've probably been getting it right. I've been getting it wrong. But Tyrone Swanepoel is in gold tonight. That's how we pronounce his name. Now, I think I've been saying Swanepoel and many other versions. But he sent me a lovely message just saying, you know, kick-ass job. You boys are doing a fantastic job broadcasting. But you pronounce it Swanepoel. So it's Swanepoel.
Okay, Swanepoel.
Swanepoel, like a swan in a pool without the in.
Okay, well, let's see if we can find... Oh, there's been an accident in the back here, under safety car.
Ah, you're kidding.
Somebody's in the fence there, coming up out of the toe.
Please hold speed, no more than 8.
They're trying to find it on the screen, not seeing it, so...
Yeah, I saw it happen, so somebody would turn left, big lock up, bounced off the fence on the left-hand side. Driver's left.
Okay, yeah, looking
Okay.
at back runners, can't pick it up. Let's get ready to go back to green though, because the front...
Control the speed, be accelerated at your discretion.
I don't think race control's seen it. You are 100% live there, aren't you, Dave?
I am.
Let's go to green. Here we go. Look at them.
I'm watching your stream.
Yeah, look at them queuing up. This is interesting. So this time, they're all over each other. Clements needs to get a good get-go here, and he does. We go green. We're racing, and the two-pace Syndicate cars sitting behind with Dylan O'Shea looking ready to pounce in P4. Good restart, though, Clements. He did get that jump of about 3 car lengths. Here comes O'Shea.
Yeah, my money's on Dylan.
Whoa, the back end was stepping out as Madden. Yeah, Madden's coming as well. He's the third of the pace Syndicate cars. We go up the hill. Kaniska is pushing on too.
Very tight here, but look at the respect again. This is why people come and race an F3A, because there's an element of respect shown by everybody. And I'm not gonna jinx them all this time, I hope.
And it's Tyrone. He's just having a laugh with me on the chat. Tyrone, like Byron, but with a T. So it's not Tyrone, it's Tyrone as we lose a car in the background. Was that Ben Arthur? No, it was Kim Walls. It's just dropped a few positions, but hung on. So dropped a couple of spots. They're still showing dropping down the order. Dropped to 11th there, Kim. So went backwards about 3 or 4 places in the space of a couple of corners there.
We've also got Hugh McLaughlin's just received a drive-through penalty, I think that was.
Okay. Kevin Little dropping back as well. Let's go back to the front battle though. So big apologies to Tyrone Swanepoel. I'll finally get it right. I remember the first time I ever did this F3A series, I was having an absolute shocker. And Tyrone says I sound like a bit of a precious. I won't say what he said, but mate, it's 100% right. We don't mind you sending us how to pronounce a name here or there.
Mate, I think we just get it wrong all night tonight.
Yeah, nah. I think Ruru, the first time I did F3A, I was like, what are these names? And I butchered everything. I had about 16 messages when I came off air. So, keep sending them through, guys and girls, as we watch Rawal go through P1, and then behind Clements has now been demoted to 2nd. Here comes O'Shea. Kaniska staying with him, Madden, Johnson, and Capone. It's good to see Brandt back up into 6th place. Remember, Brandt was in the fence at the start of this race, so that's a pretty keen comeback, isn't it?
I think McVeigh's sort of come from fairly well down. Where did McVeigh start on the grid?
McVeigh was only up 3 spots, so started P11. But yeah, whoa, you just saw the concentration here on Johnson's face. As it's intense, isn't it? Look at that. He grimaces as he comes through the corner. He's under attack here. He's got 2 drivers in behind him. And it just goes to show this isn't a walk in the park when you're sim racing.
This is what happens to every race driver inside the helmet. You just don't normally see it.
Oh, I love it. I love the facial expressions. And it's so good. Like I said, such a massive thanks for giving us. There he goes. He wipes his brow. I love the thumbs up there mid-corner. He knows he's on the stream. But, yeah, he's holding on well. What a great recovery drive. P7 at the moment.
He's got a bit of my habit, which is I tend to lean into the corners. I'm like a passenger in a sidecar.
There's a car off the road. That's Kevin Little.
That's a safety car.
Kevin Little's in an awkward position there. Are we under caution?
We're going to get one.
Turn 9, everyone. Caution up to turn 9.
Safety car. There we go.
Is it a safety car? I was a bit.
On the right,
Yes.
sorry, on the right.
Oh, well, you put it up.
I put it up, but I don't think we're under caution.
No, we're not under caution yet. But I'm thinking we will be.
Well, everyone else has slowed down. Look at this.
That's right.
So we'll try and get confirmation from race control. I reckon we're under the safety car. I'm going to call it. There we go.
Yeah, it says I've got the message on the chat message, so it's come through safety car.
So James Revolt's gone about 2 kilometres up the road. He'll now have to slow down, bunch everything back up again. But he's in a good position to take a win here tonight for Pace Syndicate. He's out in front, the number 23. He's been pretty classy throughout the season as well. Like you said earlier, probably a top split driver, to be honest.
Nice Australian-looking livery there with the green and gold.
Very
the gold
good-looking
wheels
car,
on it.
yeah. Great looking car. There it is. So this will help Clements. Like we said, he hasn't stopped. He lost that lead position, but he'll be there possibly for a podium. I don't think he'll be able to hold off O'Shea, but if he can probably give Kanitska a good run for his money, he might get P3.
Safety car is coming in this lap. Safety car
Kanitska's a pretty tough character too, so yeah, that's a tough one to hold off.
Yeah.
Mark's been around for a while, knows his way around these tracks, and certainly has some racecraft in his back pocket.
Speaking of RaceKraft, big thanks to RaceKraft simulations for all their sponsorship throughout this season 11. And we're hoping 2023 we see F3A back here on Racestars TV for another season and bigger and better things. It's always improving. Whoa, what was that?
That's good news, Luke.
What's that?
Back here in 23.
I'm sure I'm going to be here in some sense. I think it's definitely time for a rebrand, but we'll see how we go.
FRG TV?
The GTV sounds alright. It's got a nice ring to it.
Certainly has.
But I'm definitely, there's a lot of news to come up. I think I've got 3 broadcasts left for the year, with January completely empty at the moment. So
yeah, that's good. That's good.
Good to have some time off. Definitely need some time off.
Everyone needs a break.
Please hold speed no more than 8.
So,
if you don't get a break, you tend to lose your love. So
you sure do. So what have we got? Only 2 minutes left, 2.5 minutes left, Dave. This is going to be a 2-lap dash?
2-lap dash.
Yeah.
And can Dave Clements make it on fuel?
Car 2, 3,
And can Rewalt withstand the pressure here?
I think O'Shea's the danger man, sitting there in P3.
I reckon O'Shea, as we get the jump, and there's green, as Rook Oyster calls it out, I think O'Shea will throw the kitchen sink at it too, this being the final race of the season. I don't think he'll hold back.
Blanket approval to tow from here on in. Blanket approval to tow.
So blanket approval to tow, no more safety cars.
Fantastic.
Regardless.
Here goes O'Shea, already all over the back of Clements through turn 1. On the back of him, Kanitska got a really good exit there, a bit wide in the background, but let's ride on board with O'Shea up the hill. This is where the draft starts, and he has to actually back out of the throttle there because he was too quick. He was too close to the back of Clements. He gets alongside. Now, if I was Rewalt, I would go to the left here and not give the tow to this driver who's getting it, and he's helped O'Shea here. Can O'Shea squeeze through the gap? Wow, that was close. Sparks fly up as the car bottoms out, and they almost make contact.
That's pretty impressive. I'm with you. I wouldn't have given. There's no way I'd ever give Dylan a tow. He doesn't need one.
He's going to go down the inside here.
Down the inside.
Rewalt round the outside, can't hang on. So O'Shea into the lead, fights straight across, chops across to block the zone. He's got to be careful there moving in the braking zone, doesn't he? That was a late switch across.
Kanitska up into third there as well. So Dave Clements is off the podium. We've got Jason Madden there trying to take that 4th place off him as well. So it's not looking safe, is it?
No, and this is now oh, look how wide O'Shea is off the track and back on again.
There's no penalty going wide there. You don't pick up any penalty point for going wide. So they all like to use that bit of road.
So we'll get a lap to go at the end of this one as O'Shea comes through, leading Rewalt by just on 0.2 of a second. So the white flag will drop here, and Rewalt's going to give him a run for his money. If I was Rewalt, what would you do? I would hang back here with the white flag dropping. Hang back and wait for the tow.
Use that tow down the back straight, wouldn't you?
Yeah, O'Shea's gone really, really wide, and then he sweeps back across. I would hang back a couple of car lengths here because you might find Clements and Kanitska get a better run up onto this back straight. Watch Clements. I'm going to be with him. If he's got fuel in the car, This could be incredible.
Now, Dylan's pulled over and let him by.
Yeah, this is going to get interesting as they go 3 wide. We're on board with Clements. He gets to the lead of the race. Here comes Kaniska. Good shot from on board. You can see them dancing around. We've got a car, I think, off the track in the background. Clements back into the lead, sweeps across the front. We got Kaniska in the wall. Big crash. Big crash. Kaniska in the wall and a huge secondary crash. Look at that. Cars all over the racetrack. It's massive as they try and get through the witches' hats and pieces of car all over the track. Up in front, Clements leads it by 3 car lengths.
Yeah, but Dylan's coming. He's still there.
He is. It's 3 car lengths with about 4 turns to go. Massive crash. We'll have to go back and have a look at that one. That was huge. And unfortunately, it's taken Kaniska out of this race. Clements needs to hang on here. He doesn't have far to go. Look how wide they are.
Love those last couple of laps, Joe. That was mint fun, mate. And 2 wide through all those corners.
Well, Clements had a bit of a sideways on the way out of there, so that's opened the door. Shay's back up onto his tail. It's all in this last corner. I think he's gone wide.
Oh, he dives to the inside. Oh, and they make contact.
We've got 2 more on the wall.
Oh, I knew he'd throw the kitchen fence at it. Jason Madden's going to take the win under extreme circumstances there. Can you believe it? Can you believe that? Madden takes the win. And I told you he'd throw the kitchen sink at it. And, oh
Yeah,
my
but
gosh.
Clements went wide, he was over the curb, and then he swung right back wide, and Dylan's just taken a dive for the inside, and unfortunately Clements has really not given him racing room on the inside, and I believe he'd earned the space, so we'll wait and see. I don't think anyone really deserved a penalty out of that, but I think Dylan probably deserves a little bit of road there.
Now we'll have to have another look. I'll see if I can just take it back and roll back into that one. First of all, we'll look at the Kaniska incident as well, but I'll roll back to Kaniska first because that was a big crash. Here it is on the final lap, and they were fighting. They were both in the fence there. Now, it was the teammates, wasn't it? So I was trying to see if it was the teammates, but check this out. We'll roll it back, and Kaniska, it was just ahead, turned in on his teammate. This will be a good debrief to sit in. So they go to the wall.
I think on the inside he's had a bit of understeer there.
And then the secondary part of that crash was huge, and about 4 cars involved in that. And then we'll roll this through to the end with, we'll jump on with O'Shea. So here he was chasing down the car in front. And we'll fast forward this a little bit, but there I thought Clements, he's got this one and done because he had a few car lengths. And he got a little bit sideways, as he said. I think through this corner here we'll roll. There was the sideways.
A little bit of a sideways. See there, just a little bit of a sideways, which got Dylan right onto his tail. And then through here he's got wide. He's missed. He's got really out over the curb and wide, gone wide, and I'm looking. He's up on that inside.
Oh, he's not that far up.
Oh. I think he probably he could have done with a little bit more room, but he wasn't right up there. But what caused all that was Clements going wide over the curb on the one before, which opened the door for an attack.
Yep. So there it was. Race Control will have a look at that, but it doesn't matter because they're both off the podium. Madden takes the win. Hardy and Rewalt, your top 3. So James getting back on the podium after that contact with his teammate. And what a sight. Look at Madden coming through the smoke to take the checker flag. The other 2 cars on their lids in the background. Well, that's a picture for the next year's broadcast for sure.
Yeah, Jason, don't go and buy any lottery tickets because you got all your luck tonight.
Let's grab him in for a chat now as we round this one out. So first of all, congratulations, Jason. Mate, talk us through the last corner there. You would have seen bits of cars flying and you've come home with a win, but you've driven well right throughout the race to hang in the top 5, and a little bit of luck at the end finds you on the top step.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, fair bit of luck there. Shame the other boys went out there on the last lap there. I think I was probably the slowest of a lot of us, but Stephen Bradbury to the end.
Well, you did well, and great racetrack, mate. How has the season been for you? Have you enjoyed this season?
Yeah, it's been some really good racing. There's every race has been really good fun. So yeah, well done, guys. It's a good show you put on.
Good job. And Lee, well done, mate. P2 tonight. a little bit of luck at the end there as well. But you started pole position. Talk us through your race, mate. It was an up and down one.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty dead off that first lap. I was going to get passed by someone up that the back straight. I think on lap 4, like I almost hit Marcus. I don't know if he had a moment or something, but I just lost it. But yeah, that final lap, I don't know, made up 10 positions or something. I just saw bodies flying everywhere. So yeah.
It was pretty incredible. Well done. And James, mate, talk us through your last lap, because you had that little bit of a moment with your teammate where he, well, from my view, chopped your nose off a little bit there, and he went into the fence, and you've still come home for a P3.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bittersweet podium, I should say. I just looking over the footage now, actually, and I think there was enough space for me. Unfortunately, I think I just had aero wash from the cars ahead, and I just pushed wide. Unfortunate to take Marcus out, because we've had some good battles in the silver races this year, and it's unfortunate. Obviously, Carney just saw in the mirror because of it, so that's a bit of a shame. Don't know if there's going to be a penalty involved, but we'll see. Other than that, brilliant to see Jason get up for the win. Bit of luck, so it's always cool.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. We'll do some thank yous before we move to the gold server. So if you guys want to do some thank yous, we'll start with you, Jason. Pace Syndicate for the win.
Yeah, I thank the Pace Syndicate boys, Deadhead and Worm Paints, major sponsors.
Congratulations, Lee Hardy for second. Who would you like to thank, man?
Probably the organisers, because they do such a great job. My fellow competitors, because it's always fun and fairly clean, and the sponsors, VRS, because they've been with us like maybe 4 seasons or more, ever since I've been in the league, at least. So yeah,
fantastic. Hopefully see you back here next season. And James, finally, who would you like to thank for P3?
Big thanks to Roo and the organisers of the league. As frustrating as some of the races are, we always keep coming back and having a ball. So big shout out to all those guys. Lots of effort behind the scenes. And finally a shout out to the Pace Syndicate lads for the banter every week. It's always fun to hang out and talk some rubbish and race some fake cars around the track.
Well done, mate. And I probably will give you the best livery out there for this season. It's a great crack and livery on your car. I know they're all the same for your team, but your colours just make it that little edge over everyone else. So congratulations to the whole Pace Syndicate team. Good to see 2 of you on the podium, and we'll see you next season. Yeah,
shout out to Kyle Stevens for the paints, as always.
Yeah, Kyle, what a legend. Right, Dave, I'm going to take a quick break, and you can too, while we go and change over to the gold server, because I can see 40 or so drivers already loaded in there qualifying. So I'll head over and do that now.
Beautiful. See you there.
All right, thanks to the podium. Thanks, Dave. We'll be back with you shortly for our gold server. Welcome back for the gold server now as we head to our final round of Season 11 F3A powered by FRG Formula Racing Group. We're heading down to the drivers out on the circuit for this final part of qualifying. Just on 2.5 minutes to go. Benjamin Roberts. Wow, look at the times at the top there. The top 5 covered by 79 thousandths of a second. It doesn't get any closer than that. Welcome to the commentary box, David Roberts. And man, we are in for a showdown tonight. Look how close those times are.
Well, I'm looking at the top 20 or 6/10, Luke.
And considering these are the best of the best, that is incredible.
It's pretty impressive, isn't it? That the time's so close. And it's quite a long lap round here. It's 1:37. So, not only is it a little tiny bit of time, but it's a big lap.
It is, yeah. There's Mitchell, who we'll speak to throughout the night. Trevor Leonard's in front of him tonight as well. And wow, it's just so close. I'm looking back at Tom Wilkinson. Good to see him out there tonight for Drop Bear Motorsport as he just puts it in the fence. I gave him a rap, but he sticks it in the fence. It's good to see him out there though. And Daniel Yeaman, P7, they've just done a little bit of a bit of a change to their livery. I like that. They've a little bit of the reds come back. They've got the blue, obviously, for the Beyond Blue connection and the great work that they do raising money for Beyond Blue, and obviously just creating awareness for that health line. But look at that, the car looks spectacular with a flash of red at the front as well. Good job.
Well, I think the flash of the red, he's brought on a bit of support for blood donations, because they've had a little bit of a family incident where somebody in their family's been hospitalised at the moment. They've got a great history of having given blood all their life, and now the one thing they need is blood. So wow. I think Daniel's giving that a little bit of a promo tonight.
Yeah, wow, okay, that's good to know. And Daniel's such a great person in the sim racing world, does a heap of commentary for SimSpeed, and he's basically the voice over there at SimSpeed now. And mate, he finds a bit of time to still get in the car, and he's damn quick as well. Jumps in the car, 7th place out there within 18 hundredths of a second of the top time. So it's good that he's such a great ambassador for not just sim racing but some very important causes.
Yeah, we're seeing a few people there, like Rob Bowden's back in 8th. Normally Rob would be up on that front row somewhere, so he's a little bit back, but we're talking about thousandths of a second. And where did I see Jack Mara? Now, where's Jack Mara's?
11. 11,
there you go. So Jack's those guys have really been the class of the field this season. Be interesting to see if they can find some time in the next lap or so.
Now we do have... Sorry, mate.
Josh Fitt's just done a purple sector 3, so that's fastest of all from Josh Fitt.
Yes, checker flag drops here. We will have live championship timings to crown a winner tonight. And I'll bring it up on the screen. There it is. Benjamin Roberts leading the championship on 11:52. Now this will be live and updated as we go. But as you said, Jack Mara, P3 in the championship and close to being able to get P2 if he has a good race against Bowden. That will be interesting to watch that update throughout the night.
Yeah, and that I was just talking about Josh Fitt there setting a purple sector, and he went P6.
There you go. There's some teammates helping teammates too. I just noticed a couple down the back were helping with the tow. It's one of those circuits where you can give your teammate a bit of a lift around here, isn't it?
It is. That's Jack Mara running down the grass. I don't think that was a particularly fast lap. And we've got Tyson Broad's just done a purple sector, and Guy Leach has just gone purple in sector 1 as well. So there's a couple of fast times to come in yet. There is
Tyron Swanapool out there, just heading around, and I thought I'd practice his name a couple of times before you get into it.
How to get lots of mentions, guys, if you give Luke instructions on how to say your name.
Or just get up me for getting it wrong for 11 races in a row, or 10 races in a row. Here is Guy Leach. He's gone P1 with that time. Goes a full 10th and a bit more ahead of everyone, so he's just set a benchmark. And you know what? Roberts is in the pits. Alex Court's out there. I don't think he's going quicker. He's rolling back to the lane. So by looking at that, I reckon your top 10 is now being set.
How good is that to see Guy Leach on pole for the last race of the season? That is absolutely superb. Guy's a 10-year veteran. I've raced with him for years ago, more than 10 years ago, and always a class competitor, and it's great to see him back on top. That's fabulous.
Yeah, great lap. So Leach will go from pole. Roberts, the championship leader, will start alongside him. And boy, Roberts will be hoping he can keep his nose clean. Court will be from row 2 as we get the big send-off now. We'll go down to the grid and we will call out all the names. I'll take my time tonight. Let's go through our grid. 3 minutes. I'll go through our grid, and this is how they will line up tonight. And Injectors Online Racing as a lead driver, Guy Leach, will start from pole position. Alongside him, Benjamin Roberts in the Machine Cult Mini Muscle Cars entry, leading the championship, has the 01 on the car. He will start from P2. Alex Court, Area 51 Sim Sport, starts from 3 with Bailey Evans alongside him. As then Matty Stevens, Josh Fitt will start from 6 on the grid. And for simrigs.com, Bowden a little bit outside the top 6 tonight. P7 for Tanked SRT, second in the championship. He needs a good finish tonight as well. Wooten, who's been impressive, starts from 8th. Daniel Yeaman, Drop Bear Motorsport, starts out at P9. Alongside him, Trevor Leonard. Jack Maris starts from 11th tonight with Brett Barker, your top 12. As we go to the next page, Christopher Mitchell, been a great person to chat to throughout this season, starts from 13th with Jesse Butler. Cooper from 15th with Tyson Broad alongside. It's Tiago out of 17th with Scott Barjane down there in 18th place. Alex Newton and Christian Hermanson, your top 20 for Fastlane Esports. Tom Wilkinson joining in for the final round tonight from Drop Bear Motorsport. Good to see him out of 21st with Anspach alongside. Then it's Barnes and Hudson, your top 24. 25th on the grid, it is Justin Quinn with Tyler Blackburn alongside him. Luke Fitt with John Baldwin out of 28. And then it's Patrill and Arthur, your top 30. Pat Gallo for Mark 1 Esports starts out of 31st with Philip Sanders, who I think may have a pit lane penalty. Will Ryan 33rd on the grid with Fabian Greentree, and Mickey starts from 36th on the grid. 37th is Ty Swanepoel, and then Sebastian Flock 40th on the grid. Lockie Capel and Zanny at the back. Lockie Capel, big thanks to him, safety car driver throughout this season. And with a minute to go here staging up, we have gone through the order. Roberts already out on the grid. Leach hanging back, waiting while those tyres stay warm in the blankets. And, well, I'm excited. This is going to be 40 of the best drivers, 50 minutes of racing, Dave. Fingers crossed we get through turn 1 in one piece.
That would be nice, wouldn't it, Luke?
I hope so. A big shout out to everyone that's watching. We've got quite a few comments tonight. Sher has finally made her way into the chat. G'day, Sher. And Sinisi there saying good luck everyone for the final race. It's been a crazy season. Can't wait to get back for the next one. And Pedro says, hello, love the smell of F3 in the morning. Good to have you watching, Pedro, from I think the other side of the world. Andrew Gleason says, let's go, Mickey. And
it's in the morning. It's got to be the other side of the world.
It has to be. They're all gridded up and they're all excited, ready to go. Guy Leach on pole position. Cassidy says, thanks for the broadcast again this season. It's been great. And we've loved having everyone, and all the involvement throughout the chat has made it pretty special. And I've got to say a big thanks to you, Dave, too, coming on board, jumping in, keeping me company, doing it for the love, mate, and absolutely doing a killer job. So thank you. Let's get set to go racing. We've got 50 minutes, one pit stop required. The revs rise. Watch the start here. Watch Leach, watch Roberts, watch Court and Evans off the second row. We get a green slow start from second row. The first two drivers got away absolutely perfectly. And as we head down towards 1, we hold our breath and we hope we get through here cleanly.
I think 1's biggest issue. The big issue is at the end of the back straight, that big sweeping U-turn, high speed, cold tyres. That's where the problem was in Silver, and I think we may see it again here, Luke.
They go up the hill, side by side, 2 by 2. Look at the snake of cars. Someone wide at the top of the hill. It may have been Fit as he tucks back in behind. Leach leads the race, but he's even Stevens with Benjamin Roberts into the braking zone. That's Alex Court also having a look. Matty Stevens thought about it too. Someone's gone wide. It's Alex Court way off in the weeds there, out in the marbles, and well, he comes back on. Wow.
So Sebastian Flock calling for an issue there, that so there may have been something back in the field, but they seem to have got through that big U-turn at the back there. Ben Roberts has grabbed a bit of a lead, and not only just a lead, but a bit of a break. So he's got a half a second there on Guy Leach, but a long way to go. But Ben, in his traditional position, he does like to lead.
So impressed with that start as Yeaman pulls out from the toe. Has a look at Rob Bowden down the inside. Bowden closes the door. They go side by side. No contact is made. Good driving. Bowden hangs on the inside. Will take the position back. But I'm so impressed with the start of that race. That is incredibly clean driving by the best of the best. and that's why they are the best of the best. Top effort.
Daniel Yeoman round the outside of Rob Bowden there again, so they haven't finished fighting, these two, but they've gone 3 or 4 corners side by side, giving each other room. Awesome start.
144 from a standing start there for Roberts, leads the race. Into the braking zone they go. Just ahead of this battle we're watching, in fact just behind, Christopher Mitchell has made up 3 spots already into the top 10. The RaceKraft driver behind Jack Mara, who's made up a couple of spots too after not the best qualifying effort. He would have been excited to be maybe up in the top 5, top 6. As check out the speed as they go past our camera on the floor here.
And they're back onto that back straight where they love to be 2, 3, 4 wide. And
So-
over that little rise, here we are, 3 wide down into there. And what happens? You get the guy on the outside, doesn't realise the guy right over on the inside, and sometimes it all concertinas together. But 25's Jack Mara, isn't it, running around the outside there?
Yeah, he's been into the vinegar and salt chips before this one. He's loving it, and he's
Swapping sides of the road.
brought in there as well. So Tyson brought another of the Drop Bear Motorsport cars, running the full Beyond Blue livery there. He's fighting with Christopher Mitchell, who's going to be on the outside into the next corner. So Mitchell may lose this position. He does. Actually backs out of it. He's got Leonard, his teammate, behind him as a tail gunner. But Broad now slips up 5 positions into the top 11. Only 1 outside the top 10 now. So beautiful start from Tyson.
Yeah, so there's 50 minutes of racing, and we're 3 minutes in, so the race hasn't settled down yet. They're all fighting and trying to, get their position, and we'll see in the next lap or so it'll settle down a bit, and then the strategies will come into play.
Matt Stevens, P2. Great start from him, up 3 spots. Guy Leach drops back to 3rd now, so lost a couple of positions. Stevens does a new fastest lap of the race, a 1:37.6 on that second flying lap. As sun's starting to set here, we've got a slow car in the mix there. That's actually Barnes' 39th position. Awkward place to try and get out of the way, isn't it?
What a rotten spot to have to come out of the pit lane from.
Yeah,
right into the leaders. So he's done a really good job of staying out of the road. Now he's giving his teammate a nice little tow, just free of charge.
He does, but now he's got to try and disappear again at another awkward spot when you've got about 20 cars coming through. Blue flag's obviously waving. He's got to be careful he doesn't, trip some people up here.
Yeah, he's just got to fit into the pace of the race and give road where it's as he's doing now, because the first pace safety car he'll get away by, and he'll be back on the lead lap. So that's what he's got to do, just stay out of trouble at the moment.
That's true. That's true. Look at this. Roberts is also catching flock, and Sebastian might find himself having to give way to the blue flags as well, which would put him into that train. He'll then just drop back to the back of the pack, like you said. Then they've just got to be patient, wait for that first safety car. But so far, I don't think I've seen any real incidents to write home about. It's been a really tidy first 3 laps of the race. 5 minutes in, long way to go. What are we thinking first fuel stop? Probably halfway, about 30 minutes in, 25 minutes in?
Well, they got 35 minutes of fuel on board, so they can do 35 minutes on the tank, or they can go the other way and you take that and add 15. So from 15 minutes in, they can start looking at taking a fuel stop. And if they're gambling, they can do it even earlier, because they're going to gamble there's maybe a safety car. Now, I can also see that Guy Leach has regained second place here. He's back up into second place, Luke.
He has too. So the gap to Roberts, 1.1 seconds. But I wonder if Stevens will get this back. Let's jump on board with Stevens. This is where we talked about race 1, how powerful that tow is. Moves alongside as we get a John Baldwin 5-second penalty for causing an incident on lap 1. Stevens goes back into P2.
These guys are working together. They're working the tow together and being smart. They're not upsetting each other's race. They're not diving up the inside. They're just giving each other a tow, and then sitting behind till the next time on the straight and giving each other a tow again. It's keeping them out of the way of the guys behind, and it's also giving them a chance to catch up to Ben Roberts. But Ben's got some real pace on board tonight.
He loves this track, as we see a bit of sponsorship there. Free range potatoes. I've still yet to work out how you do a free range potato, but Alex Court's in some trouble here. Let's go and have a quick look. He's in the wall. Big crash. Could be a safety car.
That looks like a safety car to me, Luke.
I can't hear race control, but have they called it?
Not yet.
So it's been reviewed. That's in an awkward position. Roberts will be listening out. Too early to come in for a pit stop, surely. They'll just have to line up here.
car 147 requesting a tow.
So it's Alex
Stand by
Court 147.
Caution after the tow. Caution after the tow on the right-hand side.
Is it lose calling
Safety car,
caution
safety
after
car, safety
the
car.
safety car? We got the safety car. So I was going to say, with him calling caution after the tow, it says he's not. To me, that says I'm not giving a tow. So.
Race control.
No, he's saying caution after the toe of the boot.
Yeah. So have caution because I'm not letting that car tow yet,
Stand by,
which
cut
says
in.
to me I'm about to call a safety car.
No, I'm sure he means caution after the toe of the boot. That's the location where Alex Court is crashed, I think.
Under safety car.
Yeah, it is. But what I'm saying is because he's telling everybody to have caution because there's a car crash there, he's not allowing that car to tow.
Right.
So
Stand by,
that says to me he's about to call a safety car.
Yep, and this car can't move. He just tried to skull drag it out onto the track. I don't think it's going to go anywhere.
One
No.
outside of the corner.
See if I can roll back and find the incident here for Court. There was one earlier with Sebastian Flock as well. And funny enough, Court's incident I don't think is throwing a flag here on iRacing, but we'll just see if we get anything from this quick replay. Let's have a quick look.
Yeah, so we do have a safety car, but they actually haven't caught the safety car yet. So they're going to complete a lap and then pick up the safety car.
So we're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. We'll roll the tape back until we find the spinning moment here for the Area 51 car. Bit of a fan of some aliens, I reckon, Alex Court. And here it is. So did he do it by himself or get a helping hand from one of the RaceKraft cars? Oh, it looks like a bit of a push and push off the toe, and around he goes.
I would say that's,
Get past the
and that
safety
was
car on
was
the
that
right.
car 27, Trevor Leonard. So I think
so.
Trevor's looking like he's going to take a little trip through pit lane here. Just enough of a touch there. The car's light coming out of there. Little light touch, and around it's gone.
Yeah, so unfortunate. And we go back to live pictures now as we wait for everyone to bank up. Now, Roberts, they've picked up someone in front of Roberts there, haven't they?
Safety car, please.
That's right. They'll give him a way through because they'll wave. What's that car? 84.
Sebastian Flock, yeah, the
Yeah, well, they'll wave Flock by, and he'll join back onto the end of the queue in a second once they get a hold of the field and let the field catch up, and they'll let Sebastian Flock regain the lead lap, and they'll pick up the leader.
there goes the Evolution Racing team driver now. He gets his wave around, off he goes.
There you go. So now they've got the lead car because it's not always easy to just come out and pick up the lead car. So yeah, you've got to come out. Lachlan's just managed to unfortunately pick up a lap vehicle, but that's now passed, and Ben's taken position right behind Lachlan in the safety car, and we've got Stevens back in second and Guy Leach back in third. So those guys were working very smart together before.
And for the championship too, importantly for P2 in the championship, Rob Bowden's still ahead of Jack Mara. Obviously Mara to snatch second in the championship needs to get himself ahead of Rob Bowden at some point tonight.
So we got those predicting points score there, Luke.
There it
the
is.
safety car.
So there's your prediction. Ben Roberts to walk at home, and I think he's pretty much tied this up. But P2, you can see still 26 points between Bowden and Mara for that second position in the championship.
And Chris Mitchell's not out of the picture there.
No, true.
But where is he on the road? He's back in 10th at the moment.
Safety car's called, and so I'm holding position now until instructed.
That's Swanepoel, who is,
Copy, we'll look at that.
I think...
Very nice pronunciation there, Luke.
You like that one? It just rolls off
Yeah,
the
I did.
tongue now, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Tyron?
it does.
Tyron? I just think Byron. Byron Swan in a pool. Byron Swan in a pool is what I would love to do on a holiday, I reckon. Go to Byron and swim in a pool, or swan in a pool. So it's easy to remember now. But hey, listen, we got to quickly, while we're under caution, let's thank Lovely Stickers, because we haven't really mentioned them too much tonight. But there's your code word, F3A Lovely, gives you 10% off their fantastic stickers. And Dave, I always ask you to give them a rap because you do have their stickers on your sim.
Yeah, and I did see that somebody else got their order this week and were raving about how good it looks. So
Did they post any pictures?
No, they didn't post any pictures, but they did say they'd received theirs and it looked absolutely hot. They were thrilled with the product that they got, which is great to hear.
Yep, it's great, and such a good sponsor to have on board if you want to make your sim rig look better. Let me quickly look up their website. There it is. So I'll show you in the big screen here, because I think we're doing another lap under caution, aren't we?
Are we?
I think so, yep. So we're just going past the safety car entry there. So there's their website. Go check it out. Lovely stickers. For example, if you've got a Fanatec wheel, you go and find the wheelbase that you've got. If you're lucky enough to have one of these cool DD ones or whatever they're called, there you go. There's the Porsche sticker kit that you can get for your racing wheel. If you've got a Thrustmaster, once again, you just click on the wheel of your choice, and there's your sticker set. And Logitech, here's another one for Logitech. So here's the Mercedes, for all the Mercedes fans out there, there's the sticker kit to make your Logitech wheel look like a Mercedes Petronas car. And just very cool. They've also got, you've got all the stickers on your seat and everything, don't you, Dave? I think Dave does, so there we are, seat covering. So let's have a look at this Nigel Mansell Williams seat covering. That's really cool. So you can make your rig really stand out with that sort of sticker kit. So lovely stickers. Get the 10% off using F3A lovely as a code word. Great initiative for them to come across and support the series. I actually love that. That's very cool. I was a big fan of Nigel Mansell back in the day.
Yeah, I see there's some really, really cool stuff there that, covering the whole gamut of motorsports, from Porsches and, the old F1 and some fabulous stuff.
It's very cool. Right, I think we're going back to green at the end of this lap, so we'll go back for some racing at about the 15-minute mark. Robert's leading the race, leading the championship. He's got the 0-1 on the car as last year's champion as well, and Matty Stevens, P2, will be ready to jump at him. And Stevens, this whole team, in fact, this Shangachangi team has been fantastic.
Shangachangi?
Shakachangi. Did I get it wrong? I got it wrong, didn't I?
That's right, go back to Swanepoel.
Shangachangi. Shakachangi? Doesn't sound very New Zealand.
Having internet issues.
Maybe it does. We love it though. Sour cream and chives and onion.
Those guys have been a lot of fun. Did you ever get your delivery of chippies, or are they?
I never gave them my address, and I just didn't get around to it. I wish I had. Did you get some?
No, I didn't get any.
Oh, I'm keen to try the vinegar and salt because I love salt and vinegar, but I also like tipping a bit of vinegar on my hot chips, and I reckon vinegar and salt would be lovely.
Sour cream and chives sounded good. Barbecue was nice.
Yeah, barbecue would be good. I'm not a fan of sour cream and chives. I used to love it, and I think I overate it, and I don't like it anymore. Remember the light and tangy chips?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
yes, I do.
I was a massive fan, and I overate them, and now I don't like them.
Okay,
I had some alcohol like that.
Yeah, American honey I can never smell ever again.
Green.
Here we go, back to green.
And Ben's gone. Really early restart, so he's jumped early and got that little break.
He's very good at that, isn't he? He knows, these restarts like the back of his hand.
Yep.
So let's go a long shot down to turn one. You'll see they break, big viewing area there for spectators. This run, as we see Stevens run wide, now the run up the hill, and they just nail the throttle. You're pretty much flat in these cars all the way up here, aren't you?
Yes, in this car you're flat all the way up through here.
Yeah, I know in a supercar you're constantly lifting, you're trying to keep the thing straight, as we see Bowden in the background under attack, and here goes Stevens having a run at the lead.
And I think he's got it.
He has, and Leach is there to pounce as well. Watch out for Guy Leach, as you gave him a big rap at the start. He's a veteran of racing in these things, and he's super quick, and he's already had a couple of results that are, should be so proud of this season. He'd love to win the final one, and he doesn't care who's in front of him. He wants to win this race.
Yeah, you're just going to have to watch that veteran. He may not take that very well.
Well, a young veteran, I should say, a young veteran. A young veteran of sim racing. He's been around a while.
That's fantastic. He's had a fair few laps under his belt. Let's put it that way.
If you've done more than 1,000 laps, you're a veteran, I reckon.
Yeah, so he's sitting here. He's taking a position here, just sitting on the back of them, having a look, staying in touch. He doesn't need to race them. There's what, another 35 minutes to go yet.
Yep. Stevens was just in another postcode there for a moment.
What he wants to do is try and gap Rob Bowden in fourth.
Yeah.
And Rob's really trying to get up there because he wants to get onto that lead group and gap Jack Mara because that's second in the championship.
And Mara would be aware of that, wouldn't he? I mean, both those drivers, Bowden and Mara, aren't thinking about winning this championship. It's pretty much out of their reach. But that second will be right in their heads. And Mara will know, okay, I've got Bailey Evans in front of me. I can deal with him sometime in the next, 35 minutes. But ideally, he's got to try and work out a strategy here to jump Rob Bowden, whether it be in the pit lane, whether it be on the racetrack. He's just got to think carefully because Bowden's not going to make it easy to get past.
Ooh, what was that in the background?
There's a bit of net code, I think, as that car struggles with connection. But
somebody's struggling with connection. Is that Joshua Fitt?
It is Josh Fitt, yeah.
I can see his ping rate's just gone off the tree.
Yeah, we got 3 wide. Look out. Oh, hold your breath. 3 wide down the chute. And Broad comes out in front of Wooten and Mara. Wooten's done well. He's up in P7 again tonight. Broad slams the door shut. I'm just trying to see what's happened to a long pause there while I try and remember who I'm talking about here. But I'm having an absolute blank here, and he's a good friend. It's our man from Drop Bear Motorsport, Daniel Yeaman.
Dan Yeaman.
Yeah. Sorry about the big pause there. That was like the longest pause in history.
It happens.
That was like the joke about the pilots. How long can your R be when you're like, folks? But Yeaman, where's Yeaman gone? I cannot find him out there on the order.
Well, I'm just going back because give me a minute. I will find him.
There he is, P13. So he's dropped 4 spots. I actually thought he'd gone back further, but he's reappeared there. I wonder if he had a bit of a spin or a moment. And you know what? He had a stop. That's why he dropped off the order. He had a stop on lap 5, and 4.5 seconds worth of fuel was taken on board. So he's run a gamble at an early stop tonight.
Well, that's interesting because that's that puts him in a different strategy, and now he'll be trying to get himself back at the front so that when the other guys stop, he can
thread the needle, Yeaman. Thread the needle, and he's done it too. Wow.
And still going around the outside. That was pretty wild stuff.
Daniel Yeaman, that was a heart stopper. He's still pushing the envelope here with down the inside on Cooper. And Brian Cooper gave him some racing room. I thought that was going to be a massive crash.
I did too. I was sweating.
979, you could
So-
have penalty for causing...
Oh, now there's an accident there on the way.
Yeah.
There's 2 cars.
Oh, watch out for the unsafe rejoin here as well. He's going to have to hold the brake there. So...
And car 25, that was Jack Mara.
It was, yeah, Maris.
That was Jack Mara. So that's second in the championship, walking out the door for him.
Yeah, they've got together, those 2 drivers, and then interlocked.
Who was the other car involved in that, Luke?
Let's have a look at a replay.
Pick that up?
I'm just having a look at a replay now. So it was the Drop Bear number 2 car, wasn't it, in front?
Right.
And so the Drop Bear car lost it, and Mara had nowhere to go. So very unfortunate there. That was Tyson Broad. So disappointing for Mara, isn't it?
Oh, very disappointing. Not his fault. And he did really well to avoid that. So he'd maybe not got too much damage. It's not all over.
If I was him, I'd throw, you'd do a pit stop. You'd try and do something different now because, you're way down the order. It's a lot of cars to overtake. You've just got to roll the dice maybe on something different.
We're back to seeing this Stevens and Leach working together to try and hold on to Roberts because Roberts just got that pace. He's pulled 1.2 seconds there. He's just incredibly quick.
I'm just watching a bit of the live timing update too, just to see if it updates for Mitchell, who's up in P10. We're just watching him now, well ahead of Jack Mara. So we'll just keep an eye on that. I won't put up on the screen just yet until it updates. But Mitchell, he needs to continue to push on here and take advantage of Mara's unfortunate mishap there.
Whereas Mitchell pushing really, really hard. The car getting sideways in the middle of the corner and
and he knows one way to push, doesn't he?
Road. Yeah. Well, he's got not much to lose, has he?
No. Let's have a quick look. We've got Mitchell giving us access to his race camera, so we'll just jump over to him. He's shaking his head at the moment as I have a look. There he is, talking to his teammates. It's been a good part of this season, talking to Chris, and they have a lot of fun. They take it seriously while they're out there racing, but they do have a lot of fun. chatting to each other. They've got a big team, the RaceKraft team. Johnny Lee, who heads it up, has given some great opportunities to some other racers who haven't had sims to actually go and use the rigs at the showroom, which is fantastic from John. So big shout out to him. But Mitchell, raps to him for all his input throughout the season for us. As in the background, Cooper, Fabian and Barker go 4 wide.
Yeah, actually going back to John Lee, he's given more than just a few people an opportunity. He's given the whole field an opportunity of sponsoring the season.
True.
And he's got the naming rights to the series. He's been fantastic, great supporter, and a great brand to be involved here. And hopefully, you know, anybody out there who's looking to get into this, if you're looking for a great rig, talk to RaceKraft. Those guys are awesome. Forget that in WA, they can deliver just like anywhere else. That's not a problem these days. They'll deliver it right to your door, and it's superb workmanship in their rigs. Look after them. He's given a great opportunity to everybody out there on the track, and let's hope he returns again next year.
Yeah, let's hope so. Mickey, oh no, we're going to see Mickey go around just as we were getting a bit of on-air time for one of our absolute crowd favourites, and unfortunately, Mickey, they've gone around a big spin there and having a good run again though in the gold, elevated from silver again. Big shout out to Mickey, all the fans out there that love Mickey. Give us a bit of a hit on the chat because yeah, they've been a great sport throughout this season.
That was definitely his not happy face there in the middle.
Well done, Mickey. As we go back to the lead, check out Roberts out of shape there as he continues just to throw that car around.
He is pushing really, really hard to make that break. And we see Guy Leach is back in second. So Leach and Stevens will tow by him again here. But they've now got Bowden and Evans on the tail of them. So it's now a 4-car fight for second.
It's so busy out there. We've got another team to start giving us some access as well. Unfortunately, Scotty Barjan is out of the race. Alex Court is still out there, I think. Where's Alex? Has been involved in a few things all the way down in 36th place. But Alex giving us a close-up shot. There's Alex concentrating hard, trying to get back into this. So big thanks to this team as well, the Area 51 Sim Sports, for giving us some access into their driving room too. And Batrill's the other one who's given us access to a camera. And where is Batrill at the moment?
All these guys have been to the Chris Mitchell bloody mustache shop.
Well, it is Movember. It is Movember, so
good to see them all supporting it.
Yeah, it is. It is. And as we just try and hook up the camera here, so where is Batrill? He's down. He's actually behind his teammate, 37th. So they're running line of stone, just trying to get themselves back into this. Hoping for a safety car, probably. He's got the guitar there in the background, and what else is there? He's got a trophy. Is it a soccer? Oh no, it's a drink. I thought it was a soccer trophy.
Right. There's no train set.
No train set. That's right. I'm disappointed. Everyone should have their train set in the background of their racing sim room.
He's been wide again on that turn one. Look at him all wide back there on turn one. It's not the fastest line out there.
It's not. But anyway. Let's talk alternate strategy, and this man, Daniel Yeaman, he's actually got a very cool webcam set up tonight. We haven't really taken much of a look at. Let's have a look now. There he is. Danny's got the pedal cam all set up as well. So, but I'm a bit disappointed he's actually cropped the train set out this week.
Well, his feet aren't moving. I'm concerned.
Well, he's flat to the boards. There's the brake, little stab on the brakes, back on the throttle. So this to give us actually a pretty good view of you know, how much throttle and footwork's involved. Your left foot braker, back on the brakes. Slight delay from what we're seeing on the live feed, but you see that just 100% throttle, straight out into the brake. You see that first movement of brake, Dave. Very reminiscent of what you do in a real race car, and a big movement, and then you bleed out of it.
Yeah, and he's left foot braking, so he's actually running a little bit of brake and throttle and crossing them over, rather than, you know, in a lot of race cars, the guys don't left foot brake because you can't. You've got a steering column down through the middle, so you know, not always can you left foot brake, but he's using the two pedals together and working them against each other.
Yeah, and I was talking to Spike, who you know, my mate, who's actually done a test in an F1 car, and he said you can jump on that brake at, you know, full noise at 300 kph. You can jump on that brake as hard as you want. You're not going to lock a brake because there's so much downforce, so much grip, but that bleeding out of the brake's so important once you do make that initial big stab.
Yep.
As the aero washes off, and you know, you start to get less push down at the front with downforce. You've got to bleed out of the brake carefully, and we're seeing that demonstrated with Yeaman here.
I'm just glad he's wearing socks, Luke.
Yeah, it would be Hobbit cam otherwise. So thanks, Daniel, for giving us great access there as we go back to this battle.
Awesome.
Back to the battle with Matty Stevens, and Sky Leach is just in front, and Rob Bowden. Now, would it be in the back of Rob's mind here, just don't wipe out? That's the thing. You could so easily wipe out in this race, and then championship, P2 is gone.
And there's nothing in it for Rob to finish. He's finished first, second, third this season. He's proved he can do it. He doesn't have anything to prove. He's just got to sit here, get the points that gets him second in the series. That was pretty close in front there, wasn't it?
Yeah, I held my breath as Leach got sideways. I think Stevens did as well. And Stevens getting another run on him here down the inside. Leach actually backed out of that. He said, look, I'm not going to be a part of that.
Well, there's no need to be. Whoa. Leach is wide as wide could be there.
So Stevens back into P2. Where's Robert?
Saved it.
Oh, there was contact though. There was definitely contact.
Yeah.
And broken suspension. Broken suspension for Rob Bowden. It's Rob Bowden. Broken suspension, P2.
We've done it. We have done it again.
P2 in the championship. Broken suspension. Luckily close to the pit lane. He can get this in, get service very quickly. Importantly, where is Jack Mara? Mara's back in 22nd place and not too far away.
So, Luke, has Rob pitted for fuel yet?
He has not. So this is his first stop.
If it's going to happen, that's a perfect place for it to happen.
Yeah, so he's lucky in a sense there, but wow, this puts Mara back in front, and we'll monitor that distance between them, but P2 in the championship has just come alive. Jack Mara in his own battle here, trying to fend off Pat Gallo and Jared Steen, who's just behind as well. And, well, there's a tanked SRT car there, very close to Jack Mara. So there'll be some radio conversation. Oh, I'm not implying dirty play here, but I'm implying they're probably saying, Pat and Jared, get in front of Mara and hold him up. Oh, and he's under attack. Was that contact? Oh, that looks so close. Yeah, so that was Steen. It was actually Gallo that looked like he almost made some contact. And Mara just goes away. In fact, Hermanson also sneaks through. Now, that definitely looked like some contact. The midfield here is starting to get quite aggressive at the 29-minute mark.
That was there was some wild little moments there. So hopefully they can calm down and keep it together. And I can't believe we've done it again. Look, we spoke about Rob Bowden and said he's just got to keep his nose clean, and we've done it to another one. So who do we want to upset next?
No one. But you just saw that under investigation. So Bowden was straight on the radio to race control about the contact. He's back out in 29th place. Now, the other man he's racing with is Mara in 19th place. So there you go, 10 spots between them. And I'm just going to go and refresh that live championship points. Bowden, on the prediction, is still 12 points in front, I think it is.
Pretty tight, isn't it? That was a brilliant save there by Guy Leach, though. He lost the car got sideways. He jumped on the brakes, saved the car, but unfortunately, stopping really quickly, Rob Bowden's caught the back of him. I don't really see a penalty coming from that.
Yeah, so there's the live prediction, 12 points in it, in the favour of Rob Bowden, but he needs to keep moving along here. No further action for Bailey Evans there, causing an incident lap 15. So there you go, Stewart's with a quick decision. That's what we love, a nice quick decision.
Well, they've had a bit of a nice time. They're probably all sitting there watching the race because everybody's been quite well behaved.
The sun's setting too, isn't it? So that glare, I mean, depending on your graphics settings, you're going to be getting some glare now as you head towards this part of the racetrack, I think it is. Let's have a quick look. There's the glare. I think actually through that final sequence of corners onto the pit straight, you're going to be getting the sun in your eyes.
There's little glints as you come through a corner. Suddenly there's a burst of sunlight in your face. So it looks great, though.
It does look great. So Alex Newton, we haven't spoken about, racing at the moment up 4 spots into 15th. The biggest mover and shaker in the pack is Phillip, who's for Beyond Blue, Drop Air Motorsport, 16 positions up into 16th. So started back in 32nd, marched through the pack. So good job, and has made a pit stop. So, that started from the pit lane, so hasn't made a pit stop.
Yeah, so he had
now.
A carryover. he had a carryover penalty from last week, started from pit lane, but there again, you're looking at it now and he's well up in contention.
Yeah, so into the pits now. So our driver that's made a stop and is highest in the order is this man, Daniel Yeaman. So on the back of Josh Fit now, trying to make his run. Let's have a little watch of this, and he holds back, so he doesn't push for the overtake just yet. Gets a much tighter entry to the corner. There's a couple of different lines you see drivers take into the chute there. It's interesting. You see some guys start out wide and sweep in, others try and hug that apex because they probably feel the track's a bit cleaner in there, less marbles and a bit more grippy.
Yeah, and looking at Yeaman, he's only 10 seconds off the lead, Luke. So if Ben Roberts was to pit now, Dan's got the lead by a mile.
If it stays green, yeah. So he'll be hoping we stay green now to the end of this race.
Well, if it goes yellow, it doesn't matter. The guys still have to pit. So he is effectively our race leader right now, because the guys in front, if it's green or if it's yellow, a pit stop's going to cost him 20 plus seconds, and he's only 10 seconds off the lead, so he's looking really good.
He is. He only took 4.5 seconds worth of fuel. He'll probably be right on the limit for fuel. He's nice and smooth, isn't he, through that final corner, staying with Fit. But did you notice he wasn't trying to overtake Josh? He's hanging in, saving some fuel. You'll listen to there early, bleeding out of the brake, bleeding out of the throttle, and just saving extra fuel. So, he knows what position he's in here. He doesn't need to overtake these drivers in front. That'll be done in the pit lane.
And you can see he's talking to someone else, so either another teammate, or he's probably got a couple of guys there doing the fuel strategy and helping him out. So he's got teammates there that are helping him out with what to do and how much fuel to put in, when to pit, and it's a whole team effort behind those guys. Yeah,
they've got spotters and everything, these guys, and it makes it so easy. I know when I've done one endurance race many years ago where you had spotters looking up the track and looking for incidents, and it makes it so, one, really helpful, but it's also exciting having that extra, couple of guys helping you out.
Yeah, we did the Le Mans 24 hours this year, and we had a couple of guys in the pits, Kurt, who wasn't racing, and Kurt Bond, and Kurt was doing all the fuel calculations. I was driving the car, and we're like in a battle, 5 of us in a battle for the lead, and Kurt worked the fuel perfectly, got us a really quick pit stop, and mate, we finished second on the road. So we beat the guy in the lead was gone, but that was so much fun, and having somebody there working the pits, he said, I'll come back to you, I'll let you know what we're going to do, and I'm just driving the car, get told when to pit. They told me how much fuel went in it, and this is what you got to do, and it was really cool and so good to work with your mates. It's a really great fun time to sort of be involved in that way with other mates, and really, really good. A lot better than sitting in a pub.
That's it. It's mega. Look at that gap between first and second too, Dave. It's 5.1 seconds that Roberts has over Stevens, and Evans a further 3 seconds back. Guy Leach still all over the back. Need I say, like a leech, he's all over the back of Evans here.
You had to do it, didn't you?
I had to do it.
Another pun.
You got. Well, he's actually in front of him now. I was going to say Evans is throwing the salt out the back, trying to get rid of him, but he's all over him, and now Evans sits back in 4th place, and Wooten's going to try and wrap him up, and
Well, Bailey Evans is a pretty smart, cool character, and he knows how to drive. And these guys, have a look. They're not diving up the inside. They're not wrecking each other's races again. They're working the toe together, because together they can get back onto the back of Stevens. That's what they're both trying to do. If they fight, they'll be back in the hands of Wooten and Yeaman.
Yep, and you mentioned about 5 laps ago that gap between Yeaman and the leader was 10 seconds. It's still 10 seconds, so nothing's changed. The pace is pretty stalled out at the moment. It's staying the same, but Yeaman's still in the box seat. Here's the pit lane strategy board, as you can see, and only one driver in the top 10 stopped on lap 5, and he's in the box seat. Once everything is said and done in the pits, he should be in the lead of this race.
What'll be interesting is when the guys in front of him pit, we'll get to see what's... Ooh, that could be a...
There's 2 cars there.
That looks like that's a safety car.
It's not Bowden, is it? I know Flock's one of them. Who's the other one? Oh, it's Kalen Arthur. I thought for a second it was Bowden. It was a Tank SRT car. I was having a heart attack there, thinking, oh no, Bowden's lost his wheels, but it's not. It's his teammate Kalen Arthur, and this will trigger a heap of cars into the...
That's safety car for sure.
Caution up to
Yeah.
turn,
We have
caution
a
up to
safety car.
turn
Mitchell's
six,
first
stay
in as
right,
well, so
stay
Mitchell's
right
into
up
the
to
pits.
turn six, please.
There goes the safety car on its way out to pick up the leader. But we should see everyone else, I would say, jump into the pits now. This will be where Roberts, Stevens, Leach, Evans and Wooten jump in, and Yeaman should take the lead of this race.
Quiet on those kind of chats, please.
So Ben now, he's driving as fast as he can possibly drive through the yellow section, through the dangers to try and get to the pit lane as fast as he can. Because the gap between him and Yeaman's now 10.5 seconds. So
Yep.
he's going to be stationary for a lot longer than that. And then transition into and out of pit lane. So I think you'll see Dan Yeaman at the end of this lap. I think you'll see Dan Yeaman take the lead of this race.
And that's one thing in Formula One. Now, when they call a full course caution, they don't necessarily have a virtual safety car either. You know how a virtual safety car holds them back per sector?
Yes.
With a full course
Yes.
caution, they can still fly as long as they don't... they've got to lift through the double yellows or lift through the yellows, but they can still go flat out, catching up, can't they?
Yeah,
Or not.
the only thing is they monitor the speeds in F1. So if it's under yellow, they have to show caution. They're giving delta speeds that they have to match. We don't have that sort of sophistication, but we can see them all diving into pit lane, see the locking up on the way in, nearly running in the back of somebody, and look who's sailing through into that
Everyone
lead.
that
Just
needs
like I
to
said, here's
hand
Dan
down
Yeaman out in front.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He'll be
Yeah.
stoked with that, so...
He'll have a bit of a lead, but the thing is, as they come out of the pits, there's who's that dropped in behind him, so they're a lap down, whoever's behind him there. And
Tyler Blackburn's
you'll
going to
see
go to P2, I think. Possibly. Where's Roberts?
Roberts is in P3 at the moment.
Yeah, so Blackburn's also jumped Roberts. He stopped on lap 5 as well. So two drivers that stopped on
Right.
lap 5 have jumped Benjamin Roberts, who stopped on lap 21 under this caution period.
So now, but the thing is, as they do the wave bys, you'll see Ben's only 2 cars off Yeaman. So I think we're going to see a fantastic battle. Has Dan Yeaman got the natural pace out there to be able to combat Ben? Because we've seen Ben's got the speed.
He does, yeah. And I'm also looking for Bowden back in 14th place and Marat 21st place. So there's still a big gap between those two.
They're really just going through the motions for the championship. The thing that's on the table right now is the last race win of the season.
That's it, yeah. Thanks, Tyson, for your support, mate, throughout the season. Keith Logan as well. And Stephen Cassidas, Gavin, good to see you guys in the chat. And everyone else that's chatting over there in YouTube as well. Keep it nice and positive. There's a few negative comments there about some driving standards, but this has been absolutely a class act this season. To get 40 drivers out there in an F3 car, the amount of great driving we've seen has been second to none. So big credit to the drivers. You're going to always have accidents. You're going to have pinch points in these races, and there's going to be some unhappy people, but there's no need to take it onto the chat. This is about a positive, massive thanks to a great series. So fantastic job from Rue, all the team, and I want to take a quick break here just to show that ad again for our new sponsor, because they came on board. SCHOTS came on board last week. They're giving us 2 weeks of sponsorship, so why not run the ad, eh, Dave?
What a good idea.
Let's hit it.
Give us a break.
Here it is. SCHOTS, check it out. Open your wallet for Christmas. That will be some cool stuff you can buy for the house and your friends and so on. So very cool to have them on board as a sponsorship. Lovely stickers as well. And of course, a big thanks to RaceKraft Simulations and VRS. We're announcing a VRS winner tonight. Someone will win that $99 US package, which is fantastic. Now they're doing wave rounds here, are they? By the looks of it.
Pole position for now. Stay right.
No, they are doing wave rounds, because I've heard Rue call them to stay right. But I think what they're doing is, so the lap traffic goes to the left-hand side of the road, but they've got to bank up so that you don't get them racing under safety car conditions to try and get past. They bank up behind the safety car on the right-hand side of the road, and then they let go.
let's head over to drop there. You'll have to follow me, Dave, and I'll reshare my... Actually, I won't reshare my screen until we head back to the main room, but let's go have a quick word with Daniel Yeaman before we go green. Let's do it. So head over to drop there with me, and I'm just going to pop in now and jump in the ears of Daniel Yeaman. G'day, mate. How are you, Daniel? Leading this race, mate. Thanks for the great pedal cam tonight as well. Looking good out there, but how are you feeling for this restart?
Yeah, look, it's going to be interesting. You're not going to lie. Obviously, having Tyler behind me, who's on the same strat, is a little bit of a benefit. But obviously, having Benny just there in P3 and watching what he's been able to do from the front and literally pull away in a track that's got ultra draft all the way through this first sector is obviously worrying. We should be good on fuel, so we can hopefully fight him with max attack. But yeah, getting this restart right is going to be obviously really critical, and hopefully put a little bit of buffer between me and the guys behind, and also cross fingers that Tyler can also fight and really tackle for his position as well here.
Good strategy, mate. Something different. Love seeing someone roll the dice, which you did tonight, and it's paid off. But like you say, it's going to be a fight to the end. It's been good having you, mate. I know you haven't been able to race all around this season, but it's been fantastic having you out there, and just shows the speed you've got. You can just drop in and you know, fight for the championship, fight for the lead. You know, good job.
I mean, yeah, I've got the benefit of having driven this car a bit now, in and out over the past 2 years now, I think it is. So obviously, it is nice to be able to come back in and race this part time and still feel pretty comfortable in it. But yeah, still got what we got, looking like 7 minutes, 6.5 if I'm lucky. And yeah, it's going to be a slog if we want to pull this one off.
Mate, feel free to tell us if off. We can go off if you need to get back to concentrate here. Dave, you got anything to say to Daniel Yeaman here quickly?
No, Dan's only got one thing to look at, his mirrors, hasn't he?
He does.
Well, yeah, in the perfect world, we're not looking in the mirrors too much, but going to have to worry about that.
We'll let you get back to it.
We haven't got too far to go, so good luck. Keep all 4 wheels on it. We'll see you at the finish.
We'll let you get back to it, Daniel. Well done, mate. Next time have 3 cameras, please. 1 on your feet, 1 on you, and 1 on the train set. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, a bit of compromise to get the pedal cam in soon. Cheers.
Very good. Right, we'll head back to the main room. And massive thanks there to Daniel for giving us access and having a chat. How good is it to be able to have a chat with, a quick chat there with the guy leading the race is pretty incredible. And that's what I love about this series. That's what I love about sim racing in general. That full access, you know, and we do it on a budget here. It's, you know, this is what it is. We do the best we can, but Daniel goes the extra mile to give us those cameras. So here we go, restart time. David, hopefully you can see all the pictures. Let's get set to race this one. 6 minutes to go. This will be absolutely intense.
Now, look at the pressure on, so
look at Blackburn.
Side by side, a bit of overlap.
Yeah, Blackburn. He's going to hold this slow to the line, do you think?
I think Dan will take it all the way, almost all the way to the line before he puts his foot down.
Here we go. Now he goes. Now he goes. And he goes defensive straight away as well.
So now, interesting there is that Joshua fit in 4th, and he's in the mix here. He's putting a bit of pressure on Ben into turn 1. So Ben's going to try and charge past Blackburn as fast as he can, because if he doesn't, Yeaman's going to escape up the road, and he wants to be back in that tow if he can.
Yeah, here we go. So
Yeaman's being smart and staying on the right-hand side of the road. He's not giving Ben Roberts the tow. He's given the tow to Blackburn.
That's what I spoke about earlier when we saw that on the other foot. It was, you know, you've got to have that sixth sense. You know, you've got to know what's going on behind you. Maybe a couple of cars back. Really smart driving from Yeaman there. And Roberts, he'll want to win this. I know he's got the championship wrapped up. He'll want to stand on the top step, be P1, and take the championship honours. He won't want to be P3 tonight. Here he goes.
The racer.
Down the inside, down the inside.
Move down the inside there. Swap just dove it to the apex, but he hasn't got the speed. He's lost the speed out of the climb, out of that turn. Exit speed wasn't there, but he's
wide too.
Really taking the fight to him here. He's not giving this place back. He wants second as much as Ben wants first.
And Blackburn was slow through there. He got a bit of a swapper on mid-corner, and Roberts saw the door open. He's hanging with him here, and that brings Fit back into it as well. But Trill's on the radio, I think, in a bit of bother. But Blackburn hangs on, and Yeaman all the while is walked away 1.1 seconds.
He's escaping up the road there, and he's got his head down, and he'll be looking in the mirror and going, oh, it's green in the mirror. It's fantastic. It's not bad.
Leach back into 5th too. Hermanson with a great drive, P6 at the moment, up 14 positions. How about Luke Fitt though? P4 up 23 spots, and he's driven a wonderful race. He's another driver that stopped early, lap 4 for Fitt, and Hermanson's the other one too, lap 4.
Hermanson almost ran in the back of Guy Leach there. I'm hoping Guy's going to come back again next season, because he's sort of taken a bit to get back and hold of this F3, but he's certainly got it now, and he's been a great competitor the last 2 rounds. So
the young veteran, yes.
Now Ben got second, and see him shut that corner down.
Yeah.
An aero wash right across the front of Blackburn. Now Blackburn's going to lose 3rd place as well.
He is. I got to say too, Roberts fighting incredibly there, but did you see along the back straight, we've got this green and red transition on the timing board when overtakes are made. It was basically the whole timing board went red or green. Everyone was overtaking someone. That was incredible. There was about 6 or 7 in the top 10 that made up a position there. We've got something going in the background. We've got 4 or 5 cars off the track.
That's Rob Bowden, one of them.
Oh, it is too.
Is that Jack Mara as well?
Yeah, Mara's 2 spots behind Bowden.
And Mara, both off the road together.
Wow.
Fighting for second, they're both off the road together.
So Bowden's 30th. Where's Mara? He's a couple of positions back down the road. He's in 32nd.
32.
Yeah, so wow, Robert's new fastest lap of the race is now chasing down Yeaman. We are going to see them get together for a final showdown. Further back, 6th, 7th and 8th, it's Stevens, Hermanson and Fitt. Remember, Matt Stevens was right up there for the majority of this race, challenging for the win. Now he's fighting for 5th place, so he's dropped a long way back behind Guy Leach. Now look at this. You just got to find some room, and getting the double toe and straight past all of them. I think it's going to be Josh Fitt around the outside of 3 drivers here, I think.
Well, car number 30 in the middle there, he just boxed in the guy behind Guy Leach. So, yeah, that's what he was doing. He had him trapped in behind. And I'm just looking at the last lap. The lap times on the last lap was Daniel Yeaman did a 37.36 and Benjamin Roberts did a 36.6.
Yeah, he's all over him now too.
He's taken a whole second off him in the last lap.
He's going to rob this win off him here, Benjamin Roberts.
Ben's just got so much speed. It's amazing when you think they're all running exactly the same setup, same car. The speed that he's got, just phenomenal.
We'll get a white flag at the end of this one. It's going to be a minute to go from now, so definitely a white flag. Jack Mara on the radio, still in 30th place. He's actually ahead of Rob Bowden now, so he's jumped him again on the racetrack. I'm not sure if Bowden's got some issues back there. I'm not sure that'll be enough to take second in the championship, but we're into the final lap now. The white flag drops, and it is crossing the line first. Oh, big crash in the background. Look at that.
Whoa! Cars everywhere, and
wow, he had to lift. There's about 6 cars in the fence on the pit straight. Incredible. This is the battle for the lead, though.
He's all over him in front. He's going to look and try and pull this toe down the back straight.
Oh, contact.
And, oh, look out, they're banging wheels.
There was contact.
There was contact there.
Deary me.
This is pretty serious. There's a sheep station at the end, I think.
So Yeaman wants the win. Roberts has got the championship, but he wants the win as well. He does the old switcheroo down the chute. He's going to try and go around the outside here. If he can get good drive out there, he might just get the inside run down in the hill, but now he flicks back again. Wow.
Well, neither of these guys have got anything to lose, because Ben's got the championship sewn up. Dan's not in.
Oh, spinner.
Oh, Ben's lost it. So Dan's not. Now Ben's he's going to have to sit there and watch the whole field go by.
Wow.
He cannot readdress with all that field coming through. So there's Ben, but it doesn't matter because he's got the championship sewn up.
There's more cars in the fence. Righto, back with your race leader though. He's going to win this one by a massive margin, and the close finish that we were hoping for has been robbed of us. But Daniel Yeaman, put your hands together. That's a great drive to win the final round 10 of the gold race, and he will be absolutely ecstatic. That has been a fantastic win. Yeah, good race win. He is so stoked. There he is celebrating in the background. Yes. Luke Fitt gets a great P2 ahead of Tyler Blackburn. Guy Leach just misses out on a podium, but what a finish there. Look at Yeaman. He is so happy, and wow, what a finish to this series. It has been 10 races around America, the Tour of America for F3A and powered by FRG. What a race.
I got to say, that finish there was excellent. Even though Ben went around, it was of his own doing. You know, they haven't come together, they haven't hit each other, they've given each other racing room. Just Ben giving it absolutely 110%, and he just overstepped the mark and lost the rear of the car coming out of there, trying to get the run on Dan. So yeah, that's just great racing. And yeah, okay, it may have lost our close finish, but we only lost it by a couple of corners.
Yeah, incredible. I'm out of breath. It's been a great season, and we'll talk to the top 3 shortly. We'll also be able to crown a winner, and I should be able to bring up that live championship points for you now as we just confirm the who's who and who has won the championship and the live point update. There it is. Benjamin Roberts on 12.34, a bit less than he probably would have wanted. Finishes on top of Rob Bowden, P2 in the championship, and Jack Mara takes out 3rd. Chris Mitchell, P4 in the championship, and Tyler Blackburn, who will stand on the podium for P3 here tonight, 5th in the championship. Great season for him as well. So good job to all those competitors. And you know what? I look down that list, I see a couple of guys that were mainly in split 2, also showing in that top 20-25 drivers, so congratulations to all of them. But let's talk about Dan Yeaman. He has done it. He will stand on the top step for the final round. Let's watch him celebrate here with some Daniel Yeaman donuts.
Yeah, Dan's burning a bit of rubber there. Having a lot of fun. Look at him working that wheel and look at the grin on his face. He's had a lot of fun. He hasn't been up to do every round, but he's still finished himself eighth in the series, I think. So that's a pretty good showing for somebody who really only turned up for half the races. So maybe Dan can actually work his way into being there a little more often next season.
Great burnout too. Look at that. Nice line locker straight ahead. Love that. Smoking those tyres off. Right, let's head across. In fact, we'll put up the race results first of all. And as Dan continues to just rip a skid, here are the race results from iRacing. And Daniel Yeaman confirmed the winner there, 2.6 seconds over Luke Fitt, Tyler Blackburn, P3. Then it was Guy Leach, who drove a great race, Josh Fitt, Chris Mitchell, Queenie there. Will Ryan finished 8th ahead of Stevens and Brian Cooper, your top drivers. So congratulations. And have we got them waiting for a chat yet? I'm just having a quick look. Are they in the waiting room?
I don't know. I was looking at the Buzzing Hornets lovely sticker steering wheel that's just been posted up there by Ben Arthur.
Okay, where's that in Discord? Because I wouldn't mind showing that as well.
It's in F3A chat.
We'll show that because it's one of our fantastic sponsors. So,
and 2 people are going to go away with those free of charge tonight.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? So let's have a quick look.
I'm not sure who.
Not sure who. That's good. Let's see if I can quickly bring that up. So F3A was it?
F3A chat there, Luke. The last post on F3A chat.
Okay, I'm going to quickly find that. I've got to scroll down a long way. There it is. So Buzzing Hornets. There's a sticker, and that's a lovely stickers.
How good does that look?
Very, very cool. So lovely stickers. F3A lovely is the code word. Make sure you jump on. There's a nice word from Race Control. Congratulations, Benjamin Roberts, the champion driver of season 11. He gets to keep that number 1 on the car, and he has done so well. I'm going to head over now and drag some people in for a chat. We will go through the top 3 first of all before we start naming championships. But congratulations, Daniel. What a fitting way to finish out this season, mate, with a great win. And you held on in the end there. Well done.
Thanks, Luke. I mean, I got very lucky for starters that Tyler was down to fight there off the restart. Was a little worried when he was alongside me coming out of the final corner, but I just pulled first gear because I was still rolling it in the second and just went for it. And I mean, yeah, kudos to Benny. I was definitely giving it everything on the defense there. Coming up the hill, I was actually not full throttle, trying to make sure he couldn't get back to me. So I tried to get him right on my bumper out of turn 1, basically. So yeah, credit to him for being sensible. I was gambling a little bit there on pushing him right to the edge coming up the hill, but we're able to play ball there between us. And yeah, I mean, look, if he hadn't spun there out of the toe of the boot, certainly would have been under a lot of pressure to finish that one off there, because I was having to try and cover everything from the inside. It felt from there on out. So look, yeah, credit to him for hard racing there to the end, and credit to him for winning the championship, finishing with that one there as well. So obviously, great to be able to that's 3 wins from 6 starts this season. Obviously, would have liked some more podiums to go along with it, but given also tonight, it's the first time back in F3A since learning I've got an uncle in ICU at the moment with a rather debilitating condition that we're not sure how long it's going to take for him to recover. It could be easily months stuck in a bed, paralysed. So to be able to actually have a little livery update for me this week on the nose of the car with the return of some of the red there and do it for him. He was also an avid motorsport fan in real life. Credit to you, and dedicate that one there to my Uncle Graham.
Fantastic, mate. And Dave did fill us in on a little bit of that with the livery change, and like I've given you guys a wrap as a team. You've just been so good in your support and your awareness of these. Beyond Blue has been massive, raising money for them, but just also awareness. Money can do so much, but awareness can also do so much. So thank you on behalf of everyone for everything that you do over there at Drop Bear Motorsport. We'll go through the other 2 drivers that got podiums here tonight. Luke, P2, mate, you also did that stop on lap 4. Went for the alternate strategy tonight, and it's paid off really well.
Yeah, so mine wasn't really planned. I had some front wing damage from lap 1 or 2, and I was losing 3 or 4 seconds a lap. So I just got incredibly lucky. But that last restart was just out of control. I was on the grass coming into the fast right-hand sweeper, just hoping I didn't lose and take all the championship contenders. So I'm absolutely stoked with that result. Started 27th. Pit stop strategy ultimately got me there with a couple of lucky safety cars and a bit of fuel saving. But what a race, what a great season that the boys have put on. First time running this season. This is my first podium in gold, but I've had an absolutely ripper season, and it's a great way to finish it off, I think.
Well done, mate. Some good words there, so good job. And Tyler, you also stopped on lap 5, same strategy as Daniel, and you've come home for a P3, mate, and well done. You're, I think, 5th in the championship as well, so congratulations.
Yeah, cheers. Stoked with that result. Didn't really have the pace through qualifying, so I'm pretty happy that strategy paid off, and I just had my elbows out to that last restart, trying to hold on to everything. It's really good racing with everyone here. You can really race wheel to wheel, so it was good.
Fantastic. Let's do some quick thank yous to the top 3 before we then move across and crown our champions and talk about the actual series results. So, Daniel, I'll give you first opportunity, mate. Congratulations on the win. Who would you like to thank?
Yeah, to the team at Drop Bear Motorsport, Tom, Tyson and Phil, who are out here tonight, as well as Lockie Capel, who's been the FIG safety car driver now for the past 2 seasons. I'd like to think he may have been out here on track with us if he wasn't stuck behind the wheel of the Aston. So thanks to them and everyone else who's part of the team. First of all, to the team partners, Encosi Engineering Solutions, Sam Blacklock Media, Hybrid Racing Simulations, and Revolution Race Gear. Big thanks for all of them. Another one for Beyond Blue, still all the same. So despite the personal circumstances, chalk that one up to for the Beyond Blue donation drive as well. And just for this week and hopefully a few more races going forward and for the foreseeable future, I'll be running the Australian Red Cross lifeblood logo somewhere on the car. And hopefully if you're able to make a difference, able to contribute blood, plasma, platelets, whatever your local donation centre can do, please certainly consider making that kind of donation to help those who need it in critical medical care. And then last but not least, to the FIG crew, thanks for having us. Again this season, being in and out with our own leagues clashing that we're running on Tuesday nights, so it's good to be able to jump in when we can and put up a good race, and then looking forward to being able to watch it back. Luke, appreciate you being able to be here on broadcast.
Thanks, Daniel. It's been great, man. Thanks for all your access as well. Great pedal cam tonight. Good to see you smiling and talking to the team, enjoying yourself, and we'll see that train set again next there we go. Here we go. Quick look at the train set, everyone. There it is. There's the train set. We love the train set.
Have I pointed that vaguely in the right direction?
That's pretty good, mate. That's got my little train set fixed, so thank you very much.
Oh, yep, there you go. Sweet.
P2, Luke, who would you like to thank Luke for P2 tonight?
Just simrigs.com. The DPR boys always seem to help me out. And then obviously a big thank to you guys for putting on the show. It's always a bit of fun watching it back the next day. And the FRG, everyone involved. Fantastic league. It's been an absolute pleasure to join. Like I said before, it's my first season, but I'll definitely be coming back. Ripper administration and the way they run things is just outstanding.
Good words. Well done, Luke. Congratulations, man. And then finally, Tyler, our top 3 tonight, 3rd place. Who would you like to thank, mate?
Just the guys racing Oz, especially Isaac Edwards running spotter for me this season, Ben Arthur as well. And then all the sponsors got ICT Marketing, Analytical, JTIT, B&E Electrical, Aussie Reception, and Comsphere.
Congratulations, right? There's your top 3. I'm going to throw it over to Roo now, and so I don't mess all this up. But Roo, we're going to crown a champion, and we can do that in any way you feel fit. So give us the final results.
Well, it's for the individual, it's Benny Roberts. He has been solid the entire season, and I think he deserves nothing better than everyone's round of applause and admiration for such an outstanding season.
Cue the applause.
Woo! Yeah.
Congrats, Ben.
Bit of a cheer.
Great job.
I tell you what, I'm the slowest bloke ever at trying to turn this so I can actually do it. There it is.
There we go.
I'd never make it in TV. I was way too slow there.
So Benny Roberts gets the lovely stickers pack for whatever he wants for his racing wheel and a year's sub, and good on him. And we hope he comes back next season.
Benny.
Yeah, that was so much fun. The last few laps, catching Daniel, it was so much fun. But yeah, for the whole season, I mean, I knew it's going to be tough for pretty much everyone to be properly consistent with all the weird tracks we're running on this time around. But I think it came down to me being able to sort of make the most of the more difficult situations I found myself in. I mean, yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Ripper job, mate. And then take us through, Roo. We've got a lot to get through, so just let's run us through the other minor placings, obviously, and then we'll run through the team standings as well.
Yeah, so for the drivers, we got Benny Roberts. Rob Bowden takes out second, 1104 points, and then Jack Mara, the snacker Changi, we couldn't have those delicious chips not getting in. He just pipped out Chris Mitchell by 18 points, 22 points, sorry. So it was very, very close at the end. So congratulations to Rob Bowden and Jack Mara there for taking out those positions.
Well done. Quick word, Rob, for the season, and thank yous as well, man.
Yeah, cheers. Just want to thank all of the tank boys. I think Chris Barnes said earlier to us that today's the highlight of his week every week. So it's good that we've got this series to run. It's good to do it as a team. Obviously, all the FRG boys and stuff are putting it on every week. And yourself for broadcasting. Obviously, it's good fun watching it all back at the end. Pretty happy I got the most podiums out of anyone this season. So I more than doubled my podium tally from last season. So I can't argue that, even though I had a tough night tonight, that it was such a good season. And obviously congrats to Benny for the championship. To push him down to the last round, I think that was benefit in itself, just to try and push him all the way instead of having him wrap it up early, and Jack as well for the podium in the championship.
Fantastic, mate. So well done. And then Jack, who would you like to, quickly some thank yous, mate, and a bit of a wrap up for your season too.
Yeah, man. So last race didn't quite go to plan. Or any of the Snacker-Chingy cars. So that's a bit of a shame. But big cheers to Ariso Gorman and Matty Stevens for coming on board towards the end there, putting in rapid performances. We don't practice a lot here in New Zealand. We're a bit lazy, so kind of just turn up and trying to send it, see what happens. And I've had plenty of fun this year. All highs and lows, and it's good to get a nice little podium at the end out of it at the championship.
Well done, mate. Who'd you like to thank?
Well, mate, would you like to guess? Snacker-Changy chips. These guys. Have I told you that the potatoes came from Machu Picchu?
No, you haven't.
I think I've butchered that.
You haven't told me that, but yeah.
Well, I have now. And obviously they're not caged. They're the best potatoes in the world, and it's the most innovation in a packet since probably BC. So, big thanks to them. They're awesome. And thanks to you guys for running the series. Luke, you do an amazing job on the broadcast. I know there's people that tune in because that's great entertainment, even watching, and that's all you, mate. And then Roo, Lockie, and all the team at FRG. thanks for all the hard work. We're a rowdy bunch, and it takes a lot to put a harness on us and keep us going in a straight line and not causing too many safety cars. So thanks team. Oh, and thanks Rob and Benny for racing all season, Chris as well. You guys have been awesome. It's been a pleasure to race with you.
I love this shot here. We're just seeing now a slow motion of P3 and P2 in the championship, both coming in there to the pits, both missing a front left-hand wheel. Yeah. So what a season it's been. And just quickly before we move on, Benny, just your sponsors, mate, because as the winner of the championship, we didn't give you a chance to thank the people that got you here.
So massive thanks to Machine Cult, Mini Muscle Cars, Ben Hur Signs, True Boy Electrics, Dream Simulation, of course all the series sponsors, everyone at FRG for organising this, yourself, Luke, for broadcasting, all the other competitors. This has been so much fun this season, and also everyone who watches this every week. I mean, none of this really would happen without all of you watching, so thank you.
Very good. Righto, who's next on the agenda, Mr. Koistra?
Okay, let's go to team standings. And at the start of the round, Tanked SRT was leading, with Area 51 RaceKraft coming in very close. But after this, and we thought we may have called it a little bit too early because there was a penalty for Tiago, but the penalty didn't change his position in the standings. RaceKraft's Team Gold has won the season 11 by 3 points after all this. 2-2-8-8 for RaceKraft Team Gold.
Wow.
Just pipped Tanked SRT by 3 points. So that is just the closest and most massive, awesome finish we could hope for. So congratulations to Chris Mitchell, Trevor Leonard, and Tiago from RaceKraft Team Gold. That was amazing.
Chris, give us a wrap, mate, of the season quickly, and some thank yous as well, mate.
Man, I think I speak on behalf of everyone in all the RaceKraft teams, because we started with a lot of them and then immediately we're whittled down to less than half of that. But for those who survived and raced the season, it's been stressful. These races have the ability to go one way and then immediately show you who's boss and just have you begging for mercy. So it's been a pleasure to come racing with this crew and racing with everyone in here. It's awesome to have, such big fields. And I think we've all had a lot of fun despite screaming at our computers on a regular basis. And and it's been great, Can't wait to come back for more.
Fantastic. Yeah, well spoken. And a great team. Great to have RaceKraft as a sponsor for this series as well. And you guys have represented well, so thank you.
Much appreciated, and a big thanks to John from RaceKraft Simulations for everything he's done for us in the background, trying to organise everyone and get everyone together and that, It's been an absolute pleasure to drive and represent him. And big thanks also to RSW Graphics, some awesome stuff for our cars, making us all look pretty. And it's been an absolute pleasure, and I can't wait to come back next season and try again.
Sweet, well done, mate. All right, Root, we move on. We've got plenty to get through, including the spinny wheelie thing. So what's next?
Well, we can do the spinny wheelie thing first, or we've got a little secret prize. I think we'll do that first, actually. Yep. So the secret prize is an hour session from VRS with Julian Dunn, and we've decided to give that to the person that's committed themselves to every single race and has finished with the lowest points. And this is not a diss. This is someone who it just wants to be a part of it, no matter what their skill, and we think that this might help them to come forward and move forward. They're not with us in the chat now, but it's Lucas Burt from Old Mate and Sons, who has put in every single race, and no matter what, even if it's been taken out, they don't disconnect. They keep going, they keep racing, and they've that kind of commitment, I think, should be rewarded. So congratulations to Lucas Burt taking out our secret prize and getting that VRS one-on-one deal.
That's fantastic. Yeah, what a good initiative as well. So fantastic. Righto. Lucas isn't here, but we'll say thanks on his behalf.
Yeah, I think we're close to the wheel though, right? I think we got the viewer prize coming up.
Yeah,
I've corrected the wheel, so actual names are in there instead of the answers. So we should be cool.
Hang on, which wheel are we talking about? Because I got to get the names, don't I, from the contestant list.
Yeah, from the contestant list. Unless you want to flip a coin, or I can do some kind of,
No, I'm organised here, so let's just share this screen. I'll show you what we got going on here. So I'm going to paste all the names in. There they are. They're our contestants. And we do the spin, yeah?
Let's do it.
All right, pluck a duck. Here we go. Yeah!
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
You need the music, surely.
The music's on. You probably can't hear it. It's definitely going. Here we go. Slowing down. Here comes Daniel Yeaman. Oh, it's going to be Daniel Yeaman, is it? No, it's going to be Rob Bowden.
It's going to be Rob, isn't it?
Rob Bowden, the winner. There you go.
Hey.
Just flipped over. Congratulations, Rob. So that's a year's sub for you, buddy. So thanks for playing, bro.
Well done, Rob.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Saves a bit of money.
That's it.
Hey, that's 99 USD. So that's a good saving. That's a couple of nights out.
Me and the Tank Boys will definitely be using that for next season for sure.
Fantastic. Righto, Roo, what's next, mate?
I think we've done all the prizes. We've done the... so don't forget that we got lovely stickers for the 1, 2, and 3. So thank you for them for coming on board and giving that out. Teams, you got kudos. I'm sorry we got nothing for you, but you got kudos because you are the most awesome people in this whole series. And I just want to thank everyone who's raced because... All right, we're also. Look, I'm going to blow my own horn again. We run a tight ship, but this would not be as awesome as it is without the races because they are competitive. They're fair. I just think this is the best group of races we've had this season, and it's so cool to watch them race, and I'm so happy to see it. So just thank you for everyone that has raced this in season. Thanks for everyone that's been watching. We're happy that you're engaged with us and you've been a part of this. So we're very happy to move forward to next year. And next year we've got a few things. We've got a few sponsors that are very interested. We've got a few organisations that are also interested. So we think this is going to get bigger and bigger.
Fantastic, man. Thank you for your hard work as well, Roo. Thanks, Lachlan and Ty, who are still over in the Stewart's room. Are they still reviewing things, are they, this time of night?
Probably.
And
probably.
And I couldn't go without saying a massive thanks to Dave Roberts, who's joined me for, I think, about 6 or 7 out of the 10 races. It's been great. His insight into the world of motor racing, being an actual professional, or someone, I'm just a fake, but he's an actual legend. He knows a lot about motor racing in the real world, and that insight has been fantastic. So thank you, David.
Yes, Luke, it's been a joy to not be in race control, to be honest.
Yeah, less stress, and but yeah, it's been good. And like I said, I've had feedback from people who have just said, in fact, that one comment today where they just said they loved the way your words just explained what was going on in the picture and actually made them draw back to keep watching the broadcast, because it was not just your average sim racing. There was quite a lot of interesting facts as well. So thank you for all that.
That's pretty cool to hear. Thank you.
All right. Well, it's my bedtime. How's everyone else feeling?
Yeah, pretty
knackered.
Well, knackered. We're all grown ups, Luke.
Yeah. No, it's good to see. You can see a couple of the drivers on camera there. Give us all away, folks. We're going to round it out. There's 5 of the legends that have given us access to their cameras. But massive thanks, Roo, all the crew. F3A back next year sometime, bigger and better than ever. And well, until then, we sign out. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. Happy holidays, everyone, and we'll see you next year.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers all.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, everyone. See ya.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, boys. Bye.
Good night. Right, that's it. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in, being a part of it, being a part of the broadcast, and especially watching along. And those comments that come through, they drive myself, Dave. We love reading them, and big thanks. I'm just reading a few of them now. FRG, what a great series put together by them. This F3A American Tour. Where will they go next? We've done America. We've done the Rovals. Something new. Something will be coming up very soon. Till then, I'm Luke. This is RaceKraft TV. I'll catch you soon. Bye.